everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi, don't get comfortable because I have to get up and leave real fast.
Yeah, Sean forgot the laptop,
I don't
so
have
he
the
can't
laptop.
talk to you.
I can't talk to you right now. I don't have the laptop. Also, my camera's being a little weird. How about that? Is that better?
I don't know, is it?
Oh, if I lean too far that way, I'm in your shot there for a second. Oh, that's not it either. Okay, we're obviously getting our act together here today. I'm going to go get the laptop so I can chat with people.
That sounds good.
It feels weird without them. I'll be right back.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay.
So we're having a wonderful start to today's live. It's been a very dynamic morning. I'm Lizzie. That's Sean. He'll be back, I hope. And we are going to show you today how to assemble the Sewing Kit Essentials Needlebook. And a lot of today is going to be die cutting tips, just to explain sort of how it all gets cut and then how it comes together. And I believe he is back.
What?
What? He's back.
People are talking in the chat and I can't even see that they're talking. Okay.
Okay.
We're back, everybody.
We're back, everybody.
Hi, Deb. Hi, Renee. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Rhonda. Hi, Mary. Hi, Shari. Hi,
I
everyone.
explained what we're doing today.
Oh, that's
all
great.
I did.
Florence, y'all. Okay.
I almost asked, we drove past the water tower not too long ago, the Florence Y'all water tower, and I almost asked Sean to take a picture of it for us because I was driving and he was sitting pretty in the passenger seat.
You said nothing.
I know I didn't because we were in a lot of traffic in that particular moment.
Don't worry, I'm getting my camera where I want it.
Are you good?
No, I'm not good. That's why I keep fussing with the camera. If I was good, I wouldn't keep fussing with it.
All right.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go. Let's look at the die itself here, Mr. Jones.
Okie dokes.
So here are, I've got a few different samples. Here's the one that I use literally all the time.
Let's go like this. That's great.
That's better.
You go ahead and do your thing.
Here, I'll open it up and you can see it.
That's the one that you use all the time.
This is the one I use all the time.
When you say Needlebook, this is what I think about.
Okay.
Bring it closer to your body, please. There. There you go. That's where you want it. Okay.
So I often have more in it. Right now, I've been stitching in the evenings, and so there's a few things that are not put away. But this is the Needlebook that I use pretty much constantly.
You use that Needlebook so much that when I was thinking about projects that I could do, and we were thinking about Needlebook a long time ago, I was like, I think I'm going to make a Needlebook. And what color story is that?
Scenic Route.
I was like, I'm going to make a Needlebook in Scenic Route. And you were like, that's mine. Mine's in Scenic. So that Needlebook has been around for so long.
I told him he could.
Like, no.
But that was his response.
No, not going to do that.
So this one...
Get out of here. Randy Jones is here. She made it, everybody. Okay, awesome.
So this uses the ribbon closure that comes through, not the edge, but through the front of the cover.
Through the front cover, because you have a couple of different ways to attach the ribbon.
Yes. Well, I have a few different styles of closure, yes.
Okay.
So that's one.
That's one way.
Sean is doing a Needlebook today, and his is going to be closed in that same way.
Hang on, I got the receipts. I'm doing a Needlebook today. I'm going to take these pieces of felt and turn them into a Needlebook. Now go on.
This is another way to close. Where you've got the slots along the spine.
It looks like a belt.
It does look like a belt. And it uses an elastic
closure. Okay. You're fancy.
I know.
Very fancy.
So this one is the way that I'm going to close the Needlebook I'm working on today.
Because you're making a new Needlebook today.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Because who doesn't need 14 Needlebooks, right? That's my question.
One for every day of the week.
And these viney, laurel-y elements, those are in the die. So I'm going to show you how to stitch those.
Spectacular.
In the next, and I should say the same thing with these flowers. These flowers are also part of the die.
Part of the die kit.
This bee that I did for a recent release, the bee is not part of the Needlebook.
The bee is new.
The bee is new. This one I closed by just sewing straight through the edge.
And then you're going to tie that one.
And then, I tie all.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, so that's this one here.
This little bee one.
Yes.
Oh, how cute is that on the back? Don't turn that so. No, open that thing up again. How cute is that on the back?
Well, I thought so.
It's like a secret for yourself.
It is like a secret for yourself.
Dear Needlebook. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so these are 3 different styles
Of
that
needlebook.
I have shown over the course of crafting with all of you. And so today I'm going to do one, and here's the fun part today.
Hang on a second. This is so fun that I'm going to have to readjust. Go ahead. Tell them what's so fun today.
I didn't know what you were doing. We are sneak peeking the color story that we're going to have this weekend as our little mini release.
That's right. We're releasing a brand new color story.
Yes. And there are 2 new colors in it.
2 new colors in it.
2 new colors.
That's 40% of the color story.
It's true. And we will be showcasing that today. Just for funsies.
No one has seen these colors yet.
No.
No.
Well, yes.
The people who have been working in the barn, a.k.a. Randy in the chat. Everybody, my mom is in the chat today for the first time.
But yes, so I wanted to explain that before I start showing you things, and there are colors that you are confused about. So I'm doing a Needlebook here with the flower. What?
I'm just catching up. I'm just catching up. Yeah, I'm just catching up.
So we're going to put the flower here on the front with the vines as I have on this one.
Okay, so what color of blue is that there?
This is poolside.
That's poolside, not a new color. Don't adjust the contrast of your iPad.
This is a new color.
Oh, look at that.
This purple.
Oh, a brand new purple.
Is Orchid.
Ooh, nice to meet you, Orchid.
And on the inside.
On the inside.
These pockets are a new color. These pockets are cerulean.
Those are cerulean, okay.
Yes. So we've got Orchid and Cerulean are 2 new colors as part of this color story. I just realized I didn't use as much pink in this as I thought I had, but that's
okay.
Okay, so to start with a Needlebook, you're going to need 2 covers, 1 inside cover, 1 outside cover. They both use this die here.
So you have to make you cut 2 covers. You could cut one cover, one if you wanted to. No, you do have to do 2 covers. I thought you said pocket. I'm sorry.
No.
Okay.
Cover. So you cut 2 of these.
Okay.
One of them you will decorate however you want on the outside. Oops, sorry. I realize I'm off camera. This gets decorated however you want on the outside. And then on the inside, this is where if you want to have any pockets or anything, like I've done here.
That's where you'd smash your pockets.
That's where you put your pockets. Or I did needle channels on this one.
Oh, got it.
So we're going to do needle channels today too. So this is your inside cover. This is your outside cover. To cut slots for either your ribbon or your elastic.
Sure.
You use this die here.
Okay.
This die, the points, you just line up either, I'm making sure I'm visible here.
You're doing great.
You either line up on the spine there, the points, to make sure it's nice and straight and your slots are straight.
Okay.
Or if you want to do something on the edge.
What do you do then?
Well, here, let me use your, can I use your?
Yes, please. Anything you want.
Since I did die cut it and all. You're going to line up your points on the edge holes.
Got it.
So
that's how you create that.
Yes. So you're either lining up your points on the edge holes or on the spine holes.
Edge holes or spine holes.
Yes.
For that particular die.
Correct.
To cut your little needle slots.
And if you're on the edge holes, yes, it is going to hang over, but that's fine.
But that's fine. You're a professional die cutter, and everybody will sort that out. That's great.
So that's how you get the slots for your ribbon or your elastic.
Somebody wants to know what the new color story is going to be called before you go any further.
Cabana.
Ooh. Okay, I left my heart down in Cabana.
Cabana.
Yeah, there you go. You know. What do you mean, what?
I don't know. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So that
was 3 okays in a row.
Are we going to start counting okays now? Because I thought we were just counting bad boys.
If this was a slot machine, we got coins just running out of the bottom of the unit right now. Because I said okay, you said okay. Moving on.
All right. So these laurel pieces. They're split up like this so that you can use them in whatever way that you want to use them.
Got it.
So on like this one,
yes,
I use them to frame out that flower.
I see that.
On this one,
okay,
I use them to decorate that monogram.
Oh my gosh, yes, I see what you've done.
So you can use them in a multitude of ways.
Okay.
That was purposeful. So they're separate so that you can use them in all kinds of different ways.
Oh, Kathy wants to know, I'm sorry, Kathy, she had asked twice. She's so excited. Are there summer dyes to go with the cabana? We've released all of our summer dyes.
All of our summer dyes are released.
So for the first time,
poof. No, this isn't the first time we've done just a color story.
Oh, never mind. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you later.
It's the first time in a very long time. So, yeah. So
I got over it. I'm back.
You're good. Okay. So the laurel pieces, you can put those wherever you want.
Okay.
There is a holes only for the center of the flower, but I'm just going to freehand it. But the holes only is on there with points. The holes only has points, so you can you know which direction your
flower
your
is
dots
point.
are facing.
Okay, got it. I see that. But like you said, you're going to freehand it today.
I'm going to freehand it because it's only 4 holes.
Plus, you had to die cut 2 Needlebooks yesterday.
Indeed.
So.
Was it yesterday? No, I did them on Saturday, Sunday.
I think I don't know. Well, maybe that was Sunday. I think you're right. Who can keep the days straight?
Okay. We're going to talk about pockets now.
Oh, okay.
So the pockets.
Bring it down, baby.
Bloop. Sorry.
There you go.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
The pockets.
Yes.
Line up against the edge here.
Yeah.
But then you need a line of holes for the other side of the pocket, right? Because you don't want to get them here underneath the page. Otherwise, it gets so bulky and things don't close the way you want them to and yada yada. So here you can see, threads. You can see this line of holes right here.
Yes.
And it doesn't, there's a gap there to allow for space for the page so it doesn't like make it pop open or whatever, right?
Got it, okay.
To add those holes, there's this big, goofy, flat die, right? This die doesn't look like it does much, but this is what it's
This is what makes the book binding of the Needlebook die possible.
Well, this is what makes adding pockets possible.
Okay.
So you would take this page.
Okay.
And you line it up along the edge.
Yeah.
Here and here. You've got to make sure that the edge without the hole is along your sewing edge, your edge of your book.
Okay.
That's because you've already got a hole there. You don't need a hole there.
I don't need a hole there.
So you're just going to line up these edges.
Okay. And do that die cut. That's if you want to put pockets in there.
Correct.
Okay.
When it comes to the other side.
Yeah, just flip it over.
Just flip it over.
Just flip it over.
And do the same thing again.
Yeah, it's kind of a reverse situation there, but just flip it over.
Precisely.
Okay.
Obviously, you want to do your die cutting before you do your sewing, but I'm going to show you these, so I did those for the sake of time.
That's great.
Later. But that's why this big flat die is in here. It adds the holes, the stitching holes, to make it easier for you.
For your pockets.
For your pockets.
This is a 3-pager of an inspiration guide, by the way. If you have not yet purchased the Needlebook die from us, and you want to after today, there's 3 pages of inspiration guide to also talk you through this.
Correct.
Yeah.
So here are those big pockets.
Those are in Cerulean.
In Cerulean, yes.
Nice. That's the new blue.
That's the new blue.
Love it.
I wanted to add another pocket to this pocket because there is a small pocket die as well.
Oh my Lord.
There's the big one.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
There's the big one up here.
Mm-hmm.
There's the small one down here.
Wow, okay.
So there is a holes only for this small pocket die.
Got it.
You could add it to the inside of a cover, or you can add it on top of the other pockets. It's really great for things like threaders.
I'm glad you told me that, because I was just wondering, like, what would I be putting into the smaller pocket once I have the larger pocket?
Like a threader.
Oh, like a threader.
Or if you have, I usually end up putting my handy dandy pokey tools in the big pocket, but they would also fit in the small pocket.
Okie dokes.
So you can use this die to add your pocket.
Okay.
To the other pocket, and then, or to whatever you want to put it on. Okay. And then this guy is for the actual.
Everybody in the chat is as appreciative as I am of you explaining and talking through all this stuff right here.
I'm
the
glad.
pedagogy is off the charts right now.
This is why we do this.
This is great.
We also have...
Those colors are so summery together. Look at that.
I know. They're super fun, right? Like, look at that. It pops. Look at that. Obviously, that's not a lot of pink, but it's some pink.
Oh, yeah. That's perfect.
Oop.
There you go. You're stitching for the summer right there.
I am stitching.
Stitch for the summer. Okay.
Next up, let's talk about the channels.
Oh, the channels. The needle channels. Okay, let's do that.
There is a single needle channel if you just want one for like pins or something. But then we also have this double, which I find really helpful for particularly like wiggly needles, like the beading needles. I like having
needle channels.
The double channel in particular
for the beading needles.
For the beading needles,
because they're so small and thin.
They're long and they're fine, and it just keeps them nice and...
We can't say enough about them. Long, thin, fine.
I do really like them.
Delicate. We like them.
I like when I'm using needle channels on a page,
I
like to put them on both sides, because then I'm just sewing through and there's no bad side. There's no like wrong
Oh,
side,
you're saying top and bottom there.
Sides.
I see that. Okay, thank you.
So we'll put those on at the same time. But if you wanted to just use a single needle channel, like if you're going to do pins or something,
you could put one in like that.
You could put one in either way.
Okay.
It's great. So there you go. Those are, I think we've hit all the highlights of
that's great.
Of the die.
That's okay. People are just joining us, which is fine. Thanks for being here today live. Of course, you can be watching this later on, but we're stitching the Needlebook if you're just joining in. And Lizzie just gave a bunch of really awesome die cutting tips in the first 15 minutes of this video or so.
That was the goal, was just to explain like all the basics. All
the different basics and pieces. And now she and I are going to endeavor to put together our own Needlebooks.
Correct.
Here we go.
This is a little curly, so it keeps popping off the back.
That's okay. Get out of here, Curly.
Okay.
All right, Larry, Mo, and I are going to start stitching now.
So you have to do all of your decoration on your covers first.
That's right. And I'm going to be doing some decoration on my cover, right?
Yes.
The monogram S is going on first?
The S, well, you've got the S and you've got that.
Yeah, the leaves. But I'm really talking like the S is first, isn't it? Wouldn't you say?
I would do the other part first.
Oh, boy. Okay, great.
You don't have to.
I'm doing the other part in gray or brown.
What?
Green or brown?
You said you wanted to do the laurel-y bit in green.
Uh-huh.
And then that's why I cut you the S in brown.
Thank you so much.
In truffle.
I'm getting my arm's length thread out right now. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to start by doing these laurel leaves here.
We're both doing laurels.
Yeah. Well, yes, but mine are part of this die and yours are part of the coin purse.
Hey, Sharon in the UK got her stuff today. That's awesome. She's got to make dinner first, but later on she's going to dig into some Christmas kits.
All right.
That's awesome, Sharon.
That's great. I'm really glad to hear it.
Where are the scissors? Oh, you're using them.
I'm using them.
Excellent. Okay. Now, for my laurel leaves, am I doing 6 strands or 3?
That's up to you.
No, it's not. Am I doing 6 or 3?
I like to do 6 on the leaves.
That's what I thought.
And then 3 on the stems.
Hey, Victoria got hers yesterday. Excellent. Nice. Look at that. Take that, Atlantic Ocean.
Right.
We're taking you down. You're irrelevant.
Oh, boy. Who gave you coffee?
Nobody gave me any. I've not had any coffee today. You know that.
Wow. So I am separating my threads because it just makes them lay nicer.
I am not separating my threads because I'm but a caveman. I'm a Cro-Magnon. I'm not separating my threads.
You do what you want.
You know, I trust the people at DMC to get these in laying just exactly the way they should be laying. How many projects does Sean have to do to earn his own set of scissors is a question someone in North Carolina is wondering about.
You know what? He has access to the warehouse just as much as anybody does. He can go get himself some scissors.
I've never even considered that I could have my own set of scissors. This is like the first time we go to the grocery store after you're out of your parents' house and you're like, wait a minute.
I can buy cookies?
I can buy cookies? Like whenever I want?
I can buy name brand cereal?
What are we talking about? That's what me having my own pair of scissors is analogous to. Okay, so I'm going to start stitching... I'm going to start stitching the laurel leaf part, right? But when I'm looking at this, it all just looks like a bunch of holes to me. So where is what? Oh, are you going to show people what's going on? Am I just getting ahead of you?
No.
Oh.
Here.
Oh, okay. Spectacular. Oh, that's what it... Oh.
Luckily for Sean, I had a sample here for him to look at. For these leaves, however, I like to start at one side, go up one side, make sure I'm on the camera.
Go ahead.
Go up one side and back down the other to tie off.
And what I'm going to do is I'm starting on this part here, which is just a straight line until I get out to these holes that are out here. Is that correct?
I usually do the leaves and then I go back and do the stems.
Yeah, boy. Okay, you do the leaves and then you go back and do the stems.
Correct.
Okay.
So I'm coming up through the hole. I made a loop. I'm a little twisty.
I'm coming up through the hole. And
for the love of Pete Moss.
I'm making a loop. And the loop is going back down the same hole?
Yes.
We're doing the lazy daisy stitch right now, yeah?
Correct.
Okay, we're doing a lazy daisy stitch.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I'm just reminding myself. And then I go through this other hole that's here.
Which is the end.
Which is the anchor.
Yes.
It's going to anchor the stitch in.
Yes. You come up through the loop.
Uh-huh.
And then you go back down through the loop.
Uh-huh.
And you tighten it.
You don't go through the same hole a second time, though, do you?
Yes.
Or you do? Okay, great.
Then you're going to come up for these. You're going to come up to you're going to skip one hole here. I'm talking about these, not you. You should look at this for reference.
I think
it's the same.
Okay, you think it's the same. Got it.
You're going to skip one hole and come back up. Go back down through that same hole. Come up through the end. Come up through your loop. Tighten. Hold. And
voila.
Back down to anchor. And then again, skip a hole, then come back up. Come back down. Making sure I'm on this camera here. Yes.
Barbara thinks that I should be an expert at the lazy daisy, and you're right, I should be. But this is where Barbara finds out that should is my least favorite word in the English language. Yeah, should is one of my least favorite words.
That's true.
Yeah, because you're right, I should be an expert, and guess what? Am not. Am not at all an expert. What's that? What are you doing over there?
Oh, I am.
Because I am literally pulling out the entire first stitch that I put in there. It's already sideways over here. So you just keep doing what you're doing. It says it's like Quint teaching Sheriff Brody to tie a bow tie. Now wait, Victoria's going to have to explain herself there.
Indeed.
Because I don't know that I know either one of those characters. So we're going to find out who she's talking about here in just a moment. Oh, the UK contingent of people are talking about getting a meetup together over at the Drunken Daisy, I think, in the chat.
Drunken Daisy?
Well, I'm trying to figure out how to get my life together. That's what they're doing. I'm so bad, I'm literally going to cut a new piece of thread. That's where I am right now. Look at that.
Dude.
Shredded. Yeah, destroyed. I know, right? Right out the gate.
All right. At the end, we're not skipping any holes. We're just coming up to the end.
What is your favorite word in the English language, Sean and Liz? That would be Newberry. That would be my favorite word in the English language.
Oh,
Guess who's in the house, everybody? Andy, say hi to Randy. My mom's in the chat, buddy. You got to say hi to Randy. She's here, okay? Thanks for joining us, bud. Hope you had a good week, man.
Okay, so now we're going back down the opposite side, filling in all those holes that we skipped before.
Victoria says Jaws. That was the movie she was talking about. Okay, well, I need to go back and revisit Jaws.
I don't know that I ever watched Jaws.
I think we're going to need a bigger boat for me to be able to stitch appropriately today.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Da-dum. Da-dum. Da-dum, 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 da-dum. That's me trying to thread the needle. That's what that is.
Would you like a threader?
No, I would not like a threader. No one knows how to use those things. Okay, moving on.
That's not true at all.
Who else wants to watch Sean stitch side by side with Lizzie? Oh, Melanie, that's not... I mean, I am stitching side by side with Lizzie right now. Yeah, that's not what we're talking about. Okay, I'm going to go back to the hole that I started in.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. And so you're not putting a monogram on the cover of yours today. You're going back to a flower. And is it the same flower that came with the set?
Tis, yes.
Okay, so you're going back with the same flower that came with the set today when you do that.
Yes, I
am. Mom's reminding Andy how to spell her name. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see Andy first mention that. Randy with an I with a bunch of exclamation points. He's excited to be here at the same time, and we are too.
Indeed.
Thanks for joining us live today, both of you. Goofballs. Okay, let's see here. If I'm lucky, I'm going to make my first loop look okay. Here we go.
There we go.
Okay, so you're going with the flower.
Yes.
What will be different between your main needle book and the one that you're stitching today?
Not a lot.
Not a lot's going to be different. Okay.
The colors.
The colors are going to be different. Okay.
That's pretty much it.
Is that your plan? Is that you're making this a summertime situation?
I don't know.
So
I just like making them. I don't necessarily have a plan.
Got it.
I enjoy making these. I think it's fun.
I can't tell if I went to the correct hole or not when I did that with that. Is that where that leaf is supposed to go, babe?
No.
What is that hole for? Because there is a hole there.
It's supposed to come this way.
Oh, it's supposed to start lower down here.
Yes, sir.
Oh, got it. Okay. In that case, everybody have a good time in the chat. I'm going to start over for the third time. Well, you said you always start with the leaves first.
Yes.
So I did that thing, and it turns out I didn't start with the appropriate part on the stem.
Turns out.
For the leaves. Okay, that's fine.
Okay, I'm starting my other laurel bit here.
Go ahead, Laurel bit.
Thank you, dear.
Sherry says, this reminds me that she made Needlebooks as a prize for her students back in May.
Yeah.
And that she needs to share the pictures.
Ooh.
What students are we talking about here?
For that thing.
When she was up in Michigan?
Yeah.
Oh, prize. So she made Needlebooks for the prize. Oh, so the Needlebooks have been handed out.
Yes.
And she's probably already taken the pictures of them.
I think I've seen the pictures.
That's what I was confused about. Like, how is Sherry going to get the prizes back from her friends?
No, I believe she sent me
How many of those Needlebooks did she make? Because that's when I got my Needlebook from Shari.
a handful.
Okay, so she made a handful of those, but she hasn't shared the pictures yet. Okay, that's great. I'm glad we were able to remind her of this.
I like making Needlebooks. Because it's a clean, flat surface. You can put all kinds of different decorations on it.
Oh, weird. It sounds like Victoria's live has gone frozen. We don't think we're not seeing any errors. Oh, Victoria's back. Okay, that's good to go.
Okay.
And so once you get these leaves done on the outside of yours, that's when you're going to go to Flower Town.
Well, first I'm going to do my stems.
Oh, some stems.
Yes.
I only made 4. I took pictures before she went up there to teach class. Oh, that would be great, Shari. We can't wait to see those.
I think I have.
Okay, so where do I need to start this leaf so that it looks like I know what I'm doing? Where am I? Where was I? Is it down here, babe?
Where, bro?
Don't bro me.
I gave you the sample so you could look at it.
Okay, I guess I'll just count stitching holes there.
Yes.
Was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 5th one? Okay.
Because that's what I would have done.
1, 2, 3, 4, into the 5th one. It's that one all the way down there?
Yes.
Holy smokes. Okay.
I don't know what you want me to say.
1, 2, 3. No, I don't want you to say anything. I'm going to pull this through here. So when you're thinking about the summertime color story that we're releasing, we're thinking about Cabana here.
Yes.
What other projects or what other dyes do you think are particularly suited for using Cabana right now? Because last week we talked a lot about rainbowy things.
Yeah.
And all the different rainbowy kinds of projects while we were stitching the rainbow.
Uh-huh.
But the Cabana is not particularly rainbow-esque.
No.
No.
I think it would be really cute. The kites and the hot air balloons.
The kites and the hot air balloons. Okay, that's great.
But I have projects that I will share on Friday.
Oh, that's right. You've been stitching projects you're going to share with. Oh, a lot of projects. Okay.
Not a lot. I mean, I've been stitching a fair bit, but
Is that why you're being so hesitant right now? Like you don't want to give it away?
Well, yeah.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
But I don't. I mean,
Mum's the word.
I don't have to gatekeep my.
No, that's okay. I mean, we've already released so much information by just showing everybody the existence of the color story in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
Indeed, yeah. Okay.
No, I don't care. I used it with the popsicle dye, the Sweet Treats popsicle.
Okay.
Because, you know, you got like grape and like blue raspberry and like lime vibes in there. And then I used it with the spring flowers, the big spring flower blooms.
Okay.
So that was really fun. I think they'll be fun.
So those are all ways that you would recommend people use.
I mean, you can use it with whatever you want. But,
well, of course you can, but people will come here today because they want to know what you're going to be using it with. You know what I'm saying?
Well, sure. I am an equal opportunity.
Go ahead. You're an equal opportunity what?
I employ all the color stories equally.
Well, I was not watching the chat. Andy wanted to ask, how much does he owe Mom for the amount of M&Ms that he used to eat from us at our place out of the candy
Always
dish?
an M&M dish.
And he says that I put him up to asking that question because I'm looking for a product placement deal with M&Ms. Is what Andy thinks is going on here behind the scenes.
I mean, that would just be a circle with an M on it, right?
What do you mean? Like you're saying if you were going to design a die?
Yeah,
I just think he's just going back to all the times we've been mentioning, you know, other products here. It's pretty famous that we get talking about, you know, some stuff, right?
I guess. I don't mean to product place. I'm just stream of consciousness sewing, so.
Of course. Shari also thinks that spring flowers would be the way to go.
Yeah. I did 3 of the bigger flowers, and I decorated them in a similar way, so they made like a little set.
Was that a spoiler alert there that you just that you're about to do that? You just kind of dropped that right in there. Okay, great, good. You fell into our trap.
You'll see them on Friday.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
Sharon is back after a small dinner emergency of the blender not working.
Uh-oh.
Way to persevere. Way to persevere on the blender not working.
That reminds me of the book, The Tiger Who Came to Tea.
Oh, yeah. We love The Tiger Who Came to Tea.
Because it's like, oh, shoot, all the food is gone. We've got to go out to dinner.
Oh, that's right. First, they go out to the bar for sausages.
Yeah.
That's Dad's idea when he gets home.
It is.
Yeah, as if Mom couldn't have thought of that idea herself. That's the worst part about that it's kind of an older book.
It is.
And Mom's been at home kind of cooking dinner all day. And when the tiger comes home and eats all the dinner, the only person who can possibly say, I know what we'll do, dear. Let's go out for sausages.
We'll go to the pub.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're like, oh yeah, that poor woman, she could have never thought of that herself.
Well.
What a jerk. Okay. Has anyone come up with alternative uses for these dyes? I love stretching my supplies, would love other ways to use them. Meanwhile, Mom's got out her wristwatch calculator because she's factoring in inflation.
Let's see. What could you use these for?
Tokatch, you've got her mind thinking right now. She's thinking.
They would be really cute little gift enclosure cards. Like when I was a kid, I remember my mom had this, like, she bought like a bunch of, like a set of little gift enclosure cards, so she didn't have to take a gift card to every birthday party her children went to for a dozen years, right? And so it was like, they were like just these little 2x3 little bitty cards, sort of like the cards that you would get with like flowers or something. So they'd make cute little gift enclosure cards or gift tags for like a holiday.
Can I see the scissors when you have a moment?
Sure. Mm-hmm. All right, so then we need to do the stems.
Deb, OMG, I had not heard of that book before. This is the second reference in 2 days.
Oh, really?
And now she says apparently I need to read it. Oh, that's really funny.
It's a cute book. We had a friend, Andy Newberry's wife, gave us a bunch of children's books when Tilly was born, and that was one of our favorites.
Oh, did that one come from? That one
Ellie,
came from Claire and Ellie. Oh, I'm so sorry that I did not remember that.
Indeed.
Okay, I did not remember that one was a Claire and Ellie book.
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's a British story, so it would not surprise me if Ellie knew that storybook from her childhood.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Across the pond.
We used to read that book a lot.
Yes.
before we started going to the library a lot and getting so many books. Yeah, The Tiger Who Came to Tea. I'm glad that Andy and Mom are working this out. Obviously, he's been thinking about this for quite some time.
About the M&M thing?
Yeah, hopefully other people in the chat grew up in a household or at least had a friend maybe where there was, a chocolate dish that was out for the grazing, because I lived in a household that was like that.
You did, yes.
Yes. And then you go over there and there's just, there's all kinds of stuff there for you to nosh on.
My grandparents had like a hard candy dish, but they didn't have a chocolate dish.
Ah, well that's, the M&Ms were sort of perfect for that, right? Because they wouldn't melt as readily.
I suppose.
And the hard candy is kind of in the same vein there.
Yeah.
Andy says he's not angry. He's just, what is he? He's not angry that I forgot where the book came from. He's just disappointed. I get it now. Thank you. Sorry, buddy. You must have read The Tiger Who Came to Tea then as well, huh?
I would imagine so.
Wow, that's one of the things he and I have in common as parents, are Boyton books and The Tiger Who Came to Tea.
It's true.
Unless that was a book they only read when Dad was gone.
I doubt it.
My granny always had jelly beans, is what Shari says. Okay, she had a grandmother with jelly beans. Jelly beans was always an Easter thing in our household.
No, your mom always had a big thing of jelly beans in the pantry.
Yeah, but I feel like they were only like really out when it was.
Oh, you mean like in a dish?
Well, yeah, and you're thinking of the history from say 2001 forward. Maybe when we were younger, the jelly beans weren't flowing like the salmon of Capistrano. Audrey's Nana had gumdrops. She says.
Oh,
gumdrops. Look at that. Okay.
Goody goody.
Is your felt 100% wool or is it a blend? Someone has asked in the chat only moments ago.
It is wool.
Wool, 100%.
And it is great. It cuts really very nicely.
And that way when you make your own needlebook, you can have it. I mean, when did you make the needlebook over there that's in sweater weather?
I didn't make one in sweater weather. I made one in
Scenic Route. Sorry, Scenic Route.
August of 23.
Okay, so that needlebook is 2 years old, and it's traveled across the eastern seaboard.
And to Iowa. And
to Iowa and back again. It's been bounced all over the place.
Indeed.
Yeah. They were spiced jelly beans, so that's like round... Oh, Barbara has licorice, hard candy, and fruit pastilles in her craft room.
Awesome.
I don't think I know what those are either. Oh, Deb, I'm sure your grandparents were not boring just because they didn't have a candy dish. There must have been something else that was rootin' tootin' about them.
My grandparents only had a candy dish because they had like 4,000 grandchildren, and it was the easiest way to keep us occupied when the grown-ups were talking.
Really? It was the candy? That's the easiest way?
Well, because that and throwing us out in the yard with the...
They're from the era of the children should be seen and not heard.
Oh yeah, they were.
How do you mingle a candy dish with the sentiment that children should be seen and not heard? I don't understand how those two things come together. Because usually once children have candy, that's all they want to do is be seen and heard.
Well, it's true of our tiny humans.
I think it's true of most tiny humans.
Perhaps.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, I'm just finishing up my stem. I'm using 3 strands of thread.
Oh, so you do the leaves in 6 bangers, but then you only use 3 when it's time to do the stem?
Yes.
That way the leaves look thicker than the stems?
Yes.
Kind of like in a real plant, you mean?
Kind of.
Okay, great. I'm just poking myself in the thumb over here.
Do you need that roll of toilet paper?
I, as a grandma, have string cheese on hand for the grands. There you go. Oh. So we've moved on from jelly beans and we've moved into string cheese instead.
That'll work.
Does she keep it out on the counter, though? That's what I want to know now. Probably not, right?
Oh, warm string cheese is gross.
Randy with the live update, red, white, and blue M&Ms in the candy dish right now.
Nice.
There you go. That's what she's got. Okay. Very festive.
Indeed.
This one, I didn't reach the end of this. How many leaves are on this guy?
A lot. You told me this is the one you wanted on your needlebook.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10, 11, 12, 13. There's 14. Okay, great. 1, 2, 3. I'm 5 leaves down. That's where I am right now.
I die cut what you asked me to die cut for you.
Indeed you did.
So.
And don't you forget it.
I want to hear no guff.
There's no guff. A specific container in the fridge. My granny always had fried apple pies or apple butter for us to snack. Someone wants to know how we suggest storing felt ornaments. Is an airtight container okay?
I would think so.
Or should they be exposed to some air?
I, generally speaking, throw them into a cardboard box and hope for the best, so I may not be the best person to ask.
Well, someone else can answer Linda's question there. Shelley says, my grandma always had butterscotch in her candy jar. Pretty sure she did that so you have to sit down while we ate them. That's funny. You can imagine her in her equivalent of a YouTube live back in the day, talking to her other friends like, what am I going to do with these kids? I got to find a way to get them to sit down. And someone was like, oh, why don't you just give them some butterscotch there?
There you go.
Then they'll have to sit down.
I am playing thread chicken here a little bit, so this is why it's taking me a little longer to tie these off.
I am proudly working on my 6th leaf over here.
All right.
I thought I counted properly on the other side, but they were looking so crazy that I actually gave up on that first side. I came to a second side, started at a different number, and they look a lot better.
Good.
They're not posh to blog better, but they look a lot better. I'm just taking my time trying to keep up because Randy and Deb are talking about M&Ms now.
Oh.
So I got to make sure I don't miss any of the nuance here of the conversation.
Indeed.
Okay.
Okay. So I've got the laurels done here.
Spectacular. Let me see yours on the camera there. Oh, wow. Look at that.
There we go. Oh, sorry. I'm under Sean's head.
And like you said, you had started some of the laurels on the other side already.
I did the ones on the inside already. So one of the tricks, if you want to mirror something that only has one die that faces one way, you can just die cut it flipped over. And so like this die curves to this way.
Okay.
But I wanted to have a little leaf poking out of both pockets.
And so what did you have to do again?
I flipped it over and die cut the other side. And because it's felt, there's no like wrong side once it's finished. Because the holes are cut cleanly enough that you don't have to worry about anything looking ugly on the back. So
Sharon says, I would store in an airtight container. We've experienced the HE double hockey sticks of moths over there.
Oh.
Sherry says, I would imagine depend on where you're storing them. If it's conditioned space, a box should be fine. If not temperature controlled, maybe a more airtight container.
That's fair.
There you go.
I should think about these things a little more carefully than I do, but I don't. And so I'm glad someone else does. All right. So now I'm going to put on the flower. And I just kind of want to have it on top of the leaves there a little bit. And I'm going to do these detail lines. I'm going to do them in pink, I think. So I'm just going to grab, this is 957. That's what I use for Dahlia Blossom, which is what this pink is. And
I understand you're talking about the pink color because all of a sudden I was like, that's the new purple, but you're putting on the center of the flower. I think is what I heard you say.
I'm doing the decorative lines here.
Okay.
So there's these decorative stitches. I should have 2 strands.
And those are part of the die, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you don't have to do that. You can do them just through the petal. I'm going to do it all the way through the cover to hold them down a little bit, so that way it's just a little more secure on the cover. Does that make sense? So the the petals don't flop up as much. Yes, no, maybe?
Yeah, that seems fine. I'm just thinking about my thread tension over here. What do you, thus far, like a little uneven, but also a little bit better than the last time I was lazying and daisying.
Sure.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
Am I showing any improvement?
Yes.
What about this, this loose part over here? That's weird. Where is that coming from?
So there's 4 dots in the center. Partly because you've got 1 dot per petal, right? So you can do your floral details easily by whoopsie.
Say that again.
Hold on.
Okay.
So you've got your 1 dot per petal.
Every petal has got a dot.
Yes.
In the center.
Correct.
Of this flower.
Yes. So I'm going to do all of my detail stitches originating from the same dot.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I understand, yes, what you're saying.
Okay.
There's going to be 3 stitches of every petal?
Yeah, each petal's going to have like a trio, arrays.
Is going to have a trio of rays.
Yes.
Okay, so we're stitching flowers here.
Yes.
Or we're stitching the center of the flower here.
We're just stitching the petals first.
Okay, we're stitching the petals on the flower.
Yes.
Let me add that in as a time code.
Okay.
Stitching petal details onto your flower, exclamation point. So there's a center hole, and you're going through that center hole for each petal.
Yes.
4 petals, 4 holes, and you're coming up through the same hole 3 times on each petal. Kelly says, I keep making in the pouches that the kits come in. She keeps yours in the pouches that the kits come in. Okay.
Okay.
That's where her dies go. A lot of our dies are just loose in a drawer, are they not?
No, the ornaments, the finished ones, I think is what they were.
Yeah, but didn't you just put away some Easter egg ornaments?
Yeah, those ones are in a drawer.
Oh, okay. So I was right about that. Yes? What?
Those ones.
I just want to make sure.
Can you let me finish a sentence?
No, I can't. I want to make sure I'm not crazy.
Those ones. Yeah, because those ones stay in the dining room all the time. But like all the Christmas ones are just in like a cardboard box.
I understand what you're saying now. Okay.
Those ones, I can't put all of our Christmas ornaments in the same place in the house somewhere because they would not all fit in a drawer.
Victoria says she gifts her mistakes. That way storage ignorance... Wait, I gift my make. Storage ignorance is bliss. Anyone know what these green circular gourds are called that help keep the rodents and such away from areas? Would those work? What are the green circular gourds that keep rodents away?
Osage oranges? Those?
Is that what you're thinking about, Newberry? Is Osage oranges? I think maybe you should go back to thinking about M&Ms. I don't know anything about Osage oranges. I could have sworn that I had stitched...
I don't know if that's what he's talking about.
5 leaves, and instead I've only... Oh, no, that's this side, which is the good side. Okay, I'm better now. That's great. I thought I was going crazy.
I'm just using 2 threads for this instead of 3, like I usually use, because it's a detail. I don't want it to be, like, super, super bold.
Okay.
But that's entirely a personal preference situation.
I'm just trying to figure out what I should have done with this thread that I've now snipped, and I didn't tie it off properly, and so now it's laying in there loosey-goosey. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to sort this out.
Okay. Maybe use Fabri-Tac to hold it.
I think Andy had too many memories. Liz for the win. What do those things do? He feels like the chat would know about Osage oranges.
Gina used to keep them in her basement to keep spiders away.
She kept Osage oranges in her basement to keep away spiders.
Yes.
People put them outside their foundation to keep the critters out, and Tanya isn't sure if that works. Well, don't they eventually go bad, the Osage oranges? Like, you have to keep replenishing your...
They didn't... It wasn't, like, quickly, though, as I recall.
Oh, so you
Again,
think...
she was a very foreign lady who could have just heard something from someone from the neighborhood and thought it would work.
I think Gina probably knew exactly what she was doing.
She's a smart lady.
I mean, people talking about them keeping critters away from foundations of buildings. We have trouble right now with a groundhog trying to get into the barn. That's all I'm thinking about.
He's the pashta pet.
Yeah, he's the pashta pet, and he can't live in the foundation of the pashta warehouse. I'm sorry. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here, Pete.
He's been living in the wood pile for like
weeks.
He
can stay in the wood pile.
Yeah.
Wood pile is better than foundation of barn. So now I'm thinking about where can I know that I've been around some Osage oranges in this neighborhood. Or in this
not in our neighborhood.
Township.
Yeah, there's some growing at the corner of Pearl and Cedar.
At the corner of Pearl and Cedar?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I think John and Ann have some out at the creamery too.
Shari just says mothballs, and she's using the green pukey face. So I don't know why she's doing that.
Because it's a terrible smell.
That's a terrible smell? Okay.
It's what the closet up here smelled like until I ripped out all the...
Yeah, I guess I always just thought they smelled like mothballs. I didn't think it smelled like gross necessarily.
Oh, I don't like mothball smell.
What do they make mothballs out of? That's what I want to know. Do they make them out of Osage oranges?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Andy says that emoji looks like an Osage orange.
It does.
Someone's going to tell me what mothballs are made out of, because I definitely do not know. I presume they're not made out of moths. They're balls that are supposed to keep moths
I bet
away.
cedar blocks would be good too. Because people use cedar blocks to keep moths out of closets.
Yes. People use the cedar blocks to keep a moth out of a closet. Is that what we're trying to keep away from the wool felt ornaments, is moths?
Well, they'll eat the wool.
They'll eat the wool. Okay. But I didn't know, was there anything else that we're trying to keep away from the ornaments? Or what are we trying to detract here?
Well, you don't want them to get moldy either. Depending on where you're storing them.
I never knew that Shari was a varmint master. She says that garlic, pepper, castor oil can deter groundhogs because of their smell, huh? All right, I look forward to Shari coming up here doing a couple of applications for us.
We should tell Troy the bug sniper.
Oh boy, no, she's Googling PDB. Nephthalene or I'm not a pharmacist, Shari. I'm not reading that stuff. I mean, last week it was circumhorizontal arcs.
Circumhorizontal arcs.
Yeah, and now she's in here talking about, hang on a second, Mama didn't raise a quitter. Paradichlorobenzene. Paradichlorobenzene?
That doesn't sound healthy for anything.
She says, I'm a Google master.
Well.
Linda would much rather we just stick to cedar, I think, is what we're talking about here.
Yeah. I think I'm going to stick to cedar, too.
Sticking to cedar.
Okay, so now I am just going to add a single thread to the smaller flower here. You can use it by itself, or you can layer it on top of the other flower. I think that's a very pretty option. And I'm going to, I don't know what you're cackling about.
Go ahead.
I'm going to add a decorative stitch to these two. There's not like a hole that lines up. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it here from the center.
Yeah.
Just to keep these petals down. This is primarily a personal preference situation. Because I tend to, I'm not gentle with any of
your needlebooks.
My needlebooks.
Uh-huh.
I'm not.
So explain that to me all over again, what you're going to do.
I'm adding a decorative stitch to the smaller flower petals.
Uh-huh.
Just to keep them tacked down a little bit.
You're adding a decorative stitch to the smaller flower petals so that they stay. So it's not just so that they look prettier. No, you said decorative.
It's functional too, I
You've
suppose.
got a functional purpose behind this. Okay.
Yes.
You want them to be a little bit more durable once you've done that.
Yes.
Okay.
But I tend to be a little bit hard on things. Like I'll throw stuff in a tote bag. I won't think about, I'm not precious with any of this stuff. So this way, these petals will stay. Uh-oh.
What's going on over there? Uh-oh. A lot of uh-ohs.
I went through the thread that I had put down already in a way that I don't like. So I need to pull it.
Come back around on that thing?
Well, I need to pull it out of... Oh, son of a biscuit.
Uh-oh. Now we're cursing.
I know.
Mm-hmm. So once we get all the little details on the outside of the needlebook done, we're going to get into the actual process of...
Yes, the hardest part is the die cutting.
The hardest part is the die cutting?
Everything else is like straight lines.
Okay, so once you're done with the embellishing...
Yes.
Is what we're doing now.
Yes.
And once we get done with that, it's just like...
It's literally just running stitches, straight lines, yes.
Running stitches and straight lines is what happens at that point in time.
Correct.
Okay, if you say so.
I do. Okay, let's try this again.
I'm curious to know how Shari did the embellishments for the ones that she gave away as gifts, because thus far, all of the little Needlebooks that you've done, they've been so kind of personalized. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like to put...
this seems like a very
personalizable thing.
Personalizable, yeah, very custom thing.
Customizable
Yeah,
thing.
because it's like, well, how many pockets do you want?
Sure.
How do you want to store your needles? Are you going to have a pair of scissors? Like, all that is very specific.
Yes.
But then you're going out and kind of making them for other people.
Sure.
That's what I'm thinking about. What you do when you're doing just like a more generic
I
thing
would
there.
just do like this one, which is pocket on the front, pocket on the back, page in the middle.
That's it. Pocket on the front, pocket on the back.
That's
Thanks for coming. That's your book.
I mean, that's what I would probably do.
Okay.
But it also just depends on like how much you want to add details and stitch things and whatever. So.
I think what I'm trying to say is I think it also matters how well you know the person that you're giving it to, right? Like,
I guess.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Those are the detail stitches I was attempting to explain.
Got it.
Just one stitch on each one. And then I'm just going to tie it off here in the back.
And then you're ready to start assembling yours?
Almost.
That's
I'm going to
great.
put on the flower center still.
Oh, the flower center is going on still.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You can add embellishments like beads and stuff. Again, I'm not precious with this. And it's been almost 2 years and I had no problems with the beads on the outside of this. None.
Oh, you're talking about you did put beads on yours originally.
Yeah.
And they're still there. It's still going
fine.
strong.
Yeah. No problems at all. And you can also decorate the back of your needlebook too if you wanted to. I usually just do the front, but...
You'll be happy to know that I vamped long enough to give Shari a reason to send me an image via DM. That's what I was trying to get at. It's like if I talk long enough, Shari's going to feel... She's not going to be able to stop herself from sending me a picture. Mission accomplished. You fell right into my trap, Shari.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Okay.
This little circle.
What little circle?
This little circle.
Oh, that you've got over there?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Goes on the center.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get my phone out now. Because Shari Moss sent me a photo. Here we go. Beep, 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 beep. Oh, look at that. Those are all the different books that she made. Wow, Shari, these were not just like some kind of throwaway gift. She's like really worked on these bad boys.
She did.
Look at that. Okay.
All right.
What a
I'm going
cool
to go, instead of crisscross, I'm going to go in a box because then I can come up through the middle a little easier because I'm going to put a sequin on the front for funsies.
Okay.
Just in the middle, though.
Victoria said she also thinks it matters how many of the needle cases you're trying to make for the gifts.
That's true.
Sharon wants to know, do the tiny scissors fit in the pocket? And if so, how do you protect the felt from the point of the scissors?
Never had a problem.
Oh.
I just put them in like that. And usually the point is down in here. I have recently thought about making another needlebook, because why not? And putting a piece of ribbon or crochet thread, sewing it through the felt so I can tie like a bow around the handle of the scissors.
Uh-huh.
But I've never really had a problem with it. But no, it hasn't come through or anything. It's been fine.
There you go. So you just put a little pocket in your needlebook.
Yep. That is, in fact, why we started carrying these scissors. Well, not the only reason. I also just really like these scissors. But they fit perfectly in the pocket of this needlebook. So
there you go. So there you always have your little mini scissors around for yourself, yes. or for someone like me.
Or for your wonderful cohort.
Oh, wow. You're wonderful. I was wondering how I was going to be described in this moment, and now I have my answer.
There you go.
There you go. Okay.
Okay. I'm just sewing on this center, and I'm not going to do a lot of embellishing, like I said, just for the interest of time today, but I will put on a sequin in the center of the flower because everybody needs a little sparkle. So
just a sequin in the center of the flower.
Yeah.
Whoop. What's the whoop there? What you doing?
I put my needle through the cover of the book for a second.
Yeah, don't do that.
Nope. Don't want to do that. Okay, so I'm just going to take, this is the bead kit for Cabana.
Okay.
And I'm going to dig out a sequin.
You're the only one who has the bead kit for Cabana over there.
One person has it. other than me.
Oh, that's right. There is one person who has it other than you. She couldn't be with us today because she's probably traveling.
She is.
Or visiting. So now everybody in the chat has to think about who would normally be in the chat on a day like today. You've got a couple of guesses, and they're not here. And maybe if you guess correctly, you'll know who it is that has the cabana already.
Okay. So I'm just coming up through all the layers here.
Uh-huh.
Popping on my sequin.
Great.
Then I'm going to put on the bead.
And just like that, it'll be the only little bead or sequence you've got on the outside of your folder.
I'm just going to keep it simple today.
Not so much simple, but tasteful. This is like I've got a Needlebook, but I don't want to talk about it. That's what you're doing today. You know what I mean?
I guess, sure.
That's exactly what you're doing. Okay.
All right. But there are a lot of fun sequins and beads in this kit. I just... I knew that this project was going to take a while, so I don't want to add a bunch of beading to the process. What's Andy saying?
We have two. No, we have two guesses as to who might have the cabana color story already.
All right.
Okay, the first guess is Miriam.
Okay.
And the second guess is Michael C.
It's not Michael C. Not Michael C.
It's not Michael C. Shari, you're right. Miriam's got it.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's our flower. Okay.
How much bling is Sean adding to his Needlebook? 0.
So we're gonna do the pockets next. So I'm just taking, this is 3819. That's what I use for gecko, which is the green that we have happening here.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure if it looks green on the screen or if it looks like it's yellow, but it's definitely green.
You're talking about gecko over there?
Yeah, yes.
I think you look green on the screen.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Looks limey in person.
You can't say limey with all these people from the UK in the chat. I don't think,
sorry.
right? I don't think you can do that. Somebody remind me about whether or not is that cursing?
Yep.
What is it? I'm asking. I don't know. Oh boy.
I don't know.
As I've told you before, the camera drops 30 IQ points.
Sean has said in the past, he's like, if I heard me on these broadcasts,
I would wonder who is this?
I would wonder who is this guy?
Who is this person? He doesn't even know basic geography. And he's concerned about, language and the whole thing. I definitely think I missed a hole there just now and went into the wrong place. Like there should have been one maybe here.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's way too far away. Okay.
Okay, so because I'm layering the pocket, I don't want to start up here with my stitching because I don't want the knot to be up here.
Okay, where do you want your knot to be?
I'm going to start down here on the corner.
Okay.
And I'm going to go up one side, and then I will double back and do the rest. And then, so that way by the time I end up doubling back, my knot will be in the bottom corner there, and so it won't be in the way.
So that's a very strategic description of where you're going to start stitching.
Yes, my strategery on this is that I will keep my stitching, or my tails in such a place that you won't run into them as often if they're in the bottom corner there.
Okay, so someone has just pointed out that it is quite derogatory to say limey, but we don't mind if you're describing the color. See, there you go.
Well, I was describing the color.
Yeah, well, I was making sure that, the people knew we were describing the color and not just being...
My apologies to citrus fruit.
Typical Americans. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. I'm doing this loop here.
Usually I get mistaken for a Canadian. But...
I wanted to tell Newberry that Michael C does not have the new color story because he's a busy guy. He's got to go up and play a little golf there in the Alsace. He's going to be back home, Newberry, this week. He's headed back home. We just found out for a couple of days.
Right, so there you can see that I doubled back, and now I'm just continuing on. So ultimately, that knot will be in the bottom.
That's the pocket on the pocket that you're doing right now, correct?
Yes.
Okay, that's the pocket on the pocket.
Yes.
Great.
Great.
And then you're going to put the pocket down on either the front or the inside back cover, I presume?
There will be one on both covers.
Both covers, okay.
Yeah.
I have almost finished one side of my laurel leaves.
Visible. It's not really visible.
I know everybody's excited about that.
I am.
Are you really?
Well, I had mistakenly thought we'd be a little closer in.
Oh, girl. You thought that we would be like in similar places in our projects?
Not the whole project, but
we are an hour and 4 minutes into this video, and I have almost finished half of the Lazy Daisy. I've almost finished 11 Lazy Daisy stitches.
Okay.
I'm about 1 stitch every 6 minutes at my current pace, is what it seems like. Mm-hmm. Hey, Lily's here. Hello, Lizzie and Sean, Stitchy friends. So glad to catch you. She's missed it. Okay, there you go. She got here at the right time because we're not tossing out derogatory slang anymore.
I didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't mind. You know me. This is okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. My apologies
to limes across 1, 2, 3,
the
4,
globe. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right. How does this work here at the end?
What are you talking about?
How do I? There's these two holes seem close together. And I have this guy off to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Honey, I have no idea what's
happening. I know. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I just hadn't counted my stitches properly.
Oh, okay.
Look at you over there. You sound like me. I have no idea what is happening, is what you said, as I was trying to ask you a question. That's great. It's catching. It's rubbing off.
I just mean, I'm trying to show the people.
I know. No, you're working for your primary audience. I totally get that.
I did tell you I would make you a project to do.
Uh-huh, and I'm working on it diligently.
I can't focus on this and that at the same time.
Of course you can't. Who would have expected to do that? Just got back from visiting Seattle, came home to my cocoa and ornament kits. Happy mail indeed. Yay. That's what I'm talking about. Every time you go away, something should be waiting for you when you get back. You know what I mean?
Usually there are packages waiting for us. This last time, what was it? It was like envelopes or boxes or something. I think it was boxes.
Every time you go away, you should order something for yourself while you're gone, and then when you get home, wham, you got something to look forward to.
Ideally, not packaging materials, because that's not that much of an exciting.
If this final leaf, does it come out of the same hole? No, it doesn't come out of the same hole. Yeah, I'm confused. Okay.
I'm sorry, sweetheart.
That's all right. I'm going to work it out.
There is a printed guide for that particular...
No, I'm good to go. I'm just going to go like this.
Okay. So, here I've got that pocket on now.
Uh-huh.
So that's all set. So we're going to just sew our pockets. Let me put the pocket with this stuff on it in the front. Okay, so we're going to sew our pockets. You have to do all interior lines first, right? You don't need to sew around this part right now because you're going to get those assembled when you sew your entire perimeter. But we need to do the interior lines. So I'm going to take some of this 3844. I don't have a spool yet or a thread bobbin yet for the new cerulean.
Okay.
But 3844
is our match for the cerulean.
Our match for the cerulean.
So that's a new thread. You always say our match, as if everybody's out there just winging it with their own thread colors.
Well, I think some people prefer color is subjective. Some people prefer to look at it themselves.
I don't think I've ever heard, I don't know if anybody in the chat, you're free to let me know if you've ever taken a look at some pashta felt and decided that you went with a different DMC number than what we recommended.
I have definitely gotten emails from people who went with different colors, and they have also, people used to text me or email for suggestions.
Really?
And I would send them to them, and then they would say, that doesn't match. And that is why I stopped giving suggestions.
Because I've been in the customer service inbox now for close to a year, and I do not recall anybody sending us any...
That's because now we have thread matches on our website.
Oh, got it. I see what you're saying. So before... Okay, go on. Yeah.
So we're going to put these pockets on here. Now, you may notice that this one doesn't line up exactly right. It's pretty forgiving if you're just willing to sort of work with it here. So I'm not starting on the bottom edge or on the top edge. I'm starting second hole from the bottom here.
Uh-huh.
And we're going to go towards the edge and then double back.
Okay.
And then sew up to the top of the pocket. Sorry,
It got very quiet there for a moment, so I stopped to see what I was...
Sorry, it is pretty forgiving, but you still have to, like, you gotta think on it first. You gotta look a little harder to find your holes if you're, in this case, like me, your die shifted a little bit when you were cutting.
Okay.
But I didn't feel like throwing away this big old panel of poolside, so I just went with it.
Oh, poor Shari's been waiting on this information so she can make her swatches. She's got her thread information now.
Oh, I'm sorry, Shari.
Oh, poor Shari. Yeah, she's just been at home, just, you know.
The purple's 33.
She's been walking the floor over this. I can only imagine. I'm walking the floor over you. Sometimes I wing it with the thread matches, and dye lots can make a difference.
Dye lots can definitely make a difference.
Barbara wants to know...
For the felt and for the thread.
If 33 is variegated. No. 33 is not a variegated thread color.
Sorry, I just had like a whole bunch of stuff there in my hands and it all came together. No, 33 is a solid color.
Solid color there. Solid color. And Mary R says, I have! Exclamation point. I think she meant that she has emailed about the thread color matches before.
And that's fine. It's not that I ever minded sharing them. It's just when people would email back and be like, that doesn't match. And I'd be like, then don't use it. I don't know what to say. If it's not your preference, then it's not your preference. This is why in like all of the
This is some real inside baseball here. I know. I'm here for it.
Which is why in all of the verbiage on the website, I'm like, these are our preferences and...
Oh, I got it, yeah.
Because I don't want anybody to come calling saying, I bought the thing you told me to buy online from, you know, Michael's and I don't like it and now I'm mad.
I understand what you're saying, yeah.
Because, you know, again, color is subjective. Different people are going to see color different ways.
Oh, so Shari said she just had not yet pulled out her chart and tried to see. Oh, okay, got it. Okay, so Shari could have done that work by herself, but instead she suckered me into doing it for her. I get that. Working smarter, not harder there, Moss. I totally understand that. Way to go. Okay. I fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker.
It's really fine.
No, this is like Peppermint Patty asking Marcy for the answers to questions in class right there, and I just gave it up like a total dope. Okay.
Okay, so we've got our one side of our pocket sewn on.
Peppermint Patty, man, dang. Okay.
And then I will do the other one here in just a second.
Okay, the stitches got better as I went along.
That's great. They did.
They got better.
They did.
This is what I've done in the hour we've been stitching and chatting together. Everybody, look at that. Look at that. You know, you can teach a caveman to lazy daisy stitch. You can't teach him how to get it in the center of his camera, though. Ah, there you go. Nicey nice. Okay.
All right, so now we're going to do the other pocket.
The other pocket is over there.
The exact same way.
Great. I'm going to do the other laurel leaf now. That's what I'm going to do.
So again, I'm starting not on the edge hole, but on the second to the edge hole.
Okay.
So that way your knot is not on the edge. Then towards the edge.
It worked. Somebody in chat said I did a good job.
You did do a good job. Was it your mom?
No, I did an okay job. I did an okay job.
All right.
As my father-in-law would say, good enough for who it's for.
That's right.
It's for me, so good enough. All right, so I'm sorry, go ahead.
So I'm just doubling back. So sewing towards the edge and then back towards the top of the pocket. And here we go. Should I use pink or something?
Here we go. Okay.
And again, I'm using 3 strands for all this like constructional stuff.
Uh-huh.
Like all the parts, putting things together. I know sometimes I use 2 strands earlier, but usually when it comes to like actually the functional bits, I'm going to want 3 for all of those.
Barbara just said a blind man would be happy to see it. That's a great one. That's a really good one. Thank you for that colloquialism.
I guarantee you I will be hearing that again in my life.
I'd love to meet the limey who came up with it. That's for sure. I'm not saying Barbara did not come up with it. I'm saying somebody else would have. Oh, what? What? Now did I go? What? No, I've stepped in it?
Yes, too far.
What are you talking about? Oh, boy. That was just a callback. That wasn't too far. Okay, great. What have I done? Okay, bringing it on. Gonna stitch over here.
Yep.
Gonna get back to just, minding my own beeswax.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So now we have both pockets on.
Both pockets are on.
Yes.
Way to go.
The last bit we will do on the inside before we actually put the darn thing together is the needle channels.
Oh, got it. You're a needle channel it up.
Yes.
And then once the needle channels are on, you're ready to actually assemble the whole book together.
Correct.
Okay.
So,
the scissors are right there, darling.
Like I said earlier, if I put needle channels on the page, I like to put them on both sides.
I do remember you saying that earlier.
Right. As opposed to if you put them on a cover, you don't have to do both sides. I mean, you don't have to do both sides either way, but like I said, this is 33.
33 is color for Orchid.
It's the Orchid.
It's a newer color, I think is what you said. Is that why it's 33, or did somebody in chat say it was a newer color?
I think somebody in chat said it's DMC added new colors like, I don't know, few years ago. And
had they used up all the other numbers and that's why they dropped all the way back to 30? That seems crazy, right? I don't
know why they did that, but I mean, we've got 28 around too. I think most of the new stuff they added were purples and grays.
Do you think that was their way of being like contemporary or hip?
What?
Like it's like how like all of a sudden, football players or hockey players weren't able to use, the number 0. And so like they can suddenly do that. And you think DMC is doing the same thing? They're like, we're not just releasing new colors, but we're going to make them number 33.
Here's what I'm going to tell you I'm going to do next.
Okay.
I'm going to start with 1 bar of the needle channel.
Got it.
I'm coming through the other side of the page, but then I'm going to put the other one on before I stitch all the way back through.
Why exactly are you doing it like that?
Hiding the end under the one on the back of the page.
You're hiding the end under the
bar.
Under the bar that's on the back of the page. Got it. That's why you went through that whole description there.
Yes.
So,
you're technically skipping that first hole on the back bar, but we'll cover it here in a minute.
Okay.
So I don't want to sew through my ends, so I'm going to make sure I don't do that.
Are Orchid and Cerulean new colors not on the website yet? Correct. Yes. They are not yet on the website. Lily got here a little bit later in the day. Right. You are getting the sneakiest of sneak peeks. Story. There's a new color story coming up this weekend. Thanks for asking. That's a great question. They are not on the website yet.
No, but they will be this Saturday.
Yeah, see, Barbara and Char are both chiming in. They say there are gaps in the numbering of existing colors.
Yes.
And that they added 1 through 35. So that's totally a thing. The DMC absolutely dropped in and made the numbers weird to try to
They are, and
They did that to gather our attention so that we would talk about it on YouTube, and it worked. It totally worked.
Okay, so I'm doubling back now that I've reached the end of the bar. And just stitching through all 3 layers.
Somewhere out there's like a crepe-eating marketing person, and I salute them. I salute you. A friend of the baguette.
French.
A friend of the baguette made this decision, and it was very crafty.
Well, anywho.
Very crafty.
Yeah, I think it mostly is like purples and grays, because they added a bunch of grays too.
Who was it that decided that out of their entire color families, their entire palette was deficient just in those 2 shades?
I don't know.
Purple and gray, huh?
I feel like they could do with some neons too after trying to figure out a color to go with Gossip. Gosh darn it.
And when they release those, they're going to number them in the 1 millions.
45,006.
Oui. Touche, I think, is what they would say to something like that.
Perhaps.
I look forward to getting a strongly worded letter in the P.O. box that I have to translate myself.
Yeah.
After all of this.
Okay, so now on the back here, we're going to fill in. Why is there?
Shari's here with the real information that variegated colors are in the 4,000s.
Got it. Yes.
Got it. Okay.
And then all the light effects have an E at the beginning.
Got it. Sean, keep it up. You're about to get another picture. Oh, boy. Shari, just put the phone down, Shari. Just put it down. You don't have to do it.
I've got a knot here, so I'm going to get that out before I...
All right. Bagheera's got a knot in his tail over there. Watch out.
You stealing my scissors again, sir?
I'm not stealing your scissors. I am using the studio's scissors.
The studio's.
I'm using the studio scissors, okay?
Ah, there we go. Okay.
Okay.
So now we've got that open hole at the end. You're just going to come through that one layer underneath. Sorry, this is a very long piece of orchid thread. And then you're going to tie it off.
Okay.
Here. And I'm going to try and bury the ends a little bit. But, you know, it may work better than, or may not work as well as I'm hoping it will. Better in theory than in actual practice. We shall see. So I'm going to do this by just sort of weaving my ends through a couple of the channels. So my end doesn't get so short that if the knot gets pulled and loose, it'll come out.
Okay.
And then I'm going to snip.
Shari and Barbara over here, they're trading intel about all the various DMC colory things.
Oh.
There were not just purple and gray, there were greens and yellows as well.
There were greens and yellows too. I knew there were purples and grays. I didn't know about the other ones.
Barbara's saying, I think what she's saying is that she's got number 48, which is a variegated pink. When I first read her comment, I thought she was saying, I have 48 variegated pinks. I don't think that's what she meant to say. That's my B there. I think that's what she's saying.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so then we're going to do the other bar. I'll hide the other end in a minute.
I mean, this is the Poshtaverse chat. I'd believe anything, but I think that's what... I think I just read it incorrectly.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear. Okay.
Here we go.
And what's your next move over there?
Then we're going to do the binding.
Oh, you're doing the bars right now.
Yes, I'm doing the bars right now.
So your pockets are both anchored down.
Yes.
And those are on the outside.
The inner pocket, or the inner cover.
The inner cover. The inner cover on the inside and the outside of the book. The flaps.
Sure.
Great. And then now you put your needly things...
on the page.
On the pages.
Yeah.
And that's what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm all caught up.
I have never tried doing more than one page in a needlebook. I just have multiple needlebooks. You could probably do 2 pages and still close the needlebook without too much trouble.
Uh-huh. That'd be a chunky book, though.
It'd be a chunky book.
A little bit of a chunky book.
But that's entirely your call.
I've got this. Oh, Victoria and Barbara are talking about the color chart over here about Barbara. So it says that there's a difference between variegated colors and variations. Because it says that variations are in the 4,000s. I cannot wait for Shari and Barbara to sort this out. This is so good. If either one of you ladies need to use me as a reference when you ultimately apply to work for DMC, just let me know, and I will include a link to this live stream.
Oh boy.
Sharon Betts is also studying her DMC color chart. Everyone is just This is great.
Now that they know what color it is,
they're
like, what color is this purple?
We have reached a new level of enthusiasm here. Everybody's got their color chart out. This is great.
My color chart's in the barn, but I don't really need it.
Oh, I know where your color chart is because it works its way around the barn.
It does.
It has legs. It moves itself.
It wanders.
It wanders from table to table. It's like a cat. It always wants to be on the table that I'm working at. The DMC color chart in the Pashta barn.
Well, you know.
You know.
I've had to match a couple colors lately.
Like Orchid and Cerulean.
Precisely.
Precisely. Okay.
Maybe others. Who knows?
Who know? Well, I know. Shari is eerily quiet right now, so she must be really...
All right.
Deb says, I don't have a chart out. I'm sewing on my machine. We know you are, Deb.
There you go.
We knew we could count on you, Deb.
All right. I'm going to
nose to the bobbin stone over there,
the same
Deb's.
thing over here.
Okay.
And I will hide the other tails in a bit. I'm not going to worry about it right this second. The shorter tails.
I think if I'm lucky, I'll be done with the Lazy Daisy stitches by the time we're done.
I finish
we're done today. I think if I'm lucky. 48 is not a 6-strand DMC on my chart, says Shari Moss. Oh my gosh, is there a UK versus US chart?
Oh.
Get out of
I
here.
would be surprised because it's a French company, so it's not like it's...
No, they're trying to separate us. They're trying to drive a wedge in between our two fair countries.
Sure.
With their color chart.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Next.
Yes.
It is time to assemble our spine.
Get it assembled.
So, I am doing the elastic.
Okay.
So I need to do that too. Where's my elastic? There it is.
I don't have your elastic.
Here's my elastic. I need some thread. Okay. Okay.
Sherry says, I doubt it. There's a lot of French on this chart. Barbara says, I just counted and it's 6. Oh, wow. This is so great. They're gonna have to get their own live channel to sort this out.
So the way that I do this,
go on,
is I overlap. So hold on, I don't want it to be facing that way.
You're adding the elastic. That's what you're doing here?
Yes. So first, I create I've got the elastic through the loop here.
Uh-huh.
Through the slots. And I'm gonna sew together the ends first. Just a little. Like, I don't need to go crazy. But I'm going to sew together the ends first. Because I need them to be together. And doing this first makes it easier on yourself.
Uh-huh.
So, now I apologize if it takes me a second to do this. It's been a minute since I did the elastic the last time.
The elastic was on the one that you did with petal dot?
Yeah.
And did you do that for the introduction?
Yeah.
That was like the introductory post? Okay.
Of 2003. So, okay.
Oh, to be young again.
Oh, stop it. Okay. So I'm just going to sort of like do a couple of loosey-goosey X's.
Uh-huh.
Not loosey-goosey, but I'm just going to do some X's.
Okay. Sharon says, on my chart, 48 looks like a pearl rather than a stranded cotton.
Mm.
And that's what Shari's chart looks like. But Barbara says, I bought the 48 and the 26 yesterday.
Huh.
Huh. The plot thickens.
Indeed. So you're just sewing them, I'm just sewing them into a loop here to start with.
Okay.
Mostly this is because it'll make it easier to handle everything when you're actually trying to do the binding part.
What will make it easier when you're doing the binding part?
Having these ends sewn together ahead of time.
Okay. having the elastic lands.
Yes.
A couple of weeks ago, I created a chart with Pasha colors and DMC match based on the info on your website. I could not find a DMC match for cobblestone and peppermint stripe. Okay, so peppermint stripe is cardinal, Lily.
Yeah.
You could just use the same color for cardinal because I believe
cobblestone is hard because
cobblestone is so hard it stumped Lizzie Jones. There you go.
There's not a great match. There's just not. So the one that I tend to use with cobblestone is the same color that I use for toasted oat, which is 3033.
But we apparently feel so tentatively about that
we have not told people that
we've not even told people that yet, and Lily is the first one to find out and sort of bring it to the table.
She is indeed. So usually I just use 3033. It's not an exact. It's like a contrasting stitch, but it's in the same tone. It's sort of like the issue that we had with I was going to put on that's too late now. I was going to put on a flower on this pot. Oh, I guess it's not too late. I can still do it. I'm going to do it. It's just a hard color to match. It's the same issue I had with Gossip, and that's why we ended up with a lighter version there too, like a lighter varietal color-wise. It's just a hard match. So that's why.
There you go, Lily.
I'm sorry.
Now you can go back and finish up your chart.
Because Sean's working with cobblestone right now, and I gave him 3033 to work with.
What? Is that the case?
Yeah, totally.
I thought this was toasted oat.
No, that's cobblestone.
Oh, great. Wow. I'm in the center of this controversy. Lily, I'm right in the heart of the storm.
He's in the heart of the middle.
I'm in the heart of the middle, yeah.
Okay.
Stuck in the middle.
So after you've got your loop,
yes,
you just sort of pull such that the that this is underneath the what would be the binding. You just hide the end that you just sewed underneath the binding.
You're hiding an end.
So you're pulling it so that the seam is inside. Will be inside. See, because once you're it's so hard to explain. You just need to look at it.
That's why I'm asking you.
Yeah. So you're just hiding your loop inside the book.
You're hiding
the ends of the loop inside the book.
Yeah, the part that you stitch, you're hiding that inside the book.
Yes.
Yes.
But first, I'm going to sorry, I just moved that camera. My apologies.
That's okay.
I'm going to sew on this flower because I can.
Got it.
And I'm just going to sew it here in the corner. So I've got some 957 and I've got a flower. And since this is inside, I'm not going to tack down the petals. I'm just going to sew in the middle. And I thought I couldn't do it, but then I remembered, wait a second, the pocket's not all the way secured down because we do the edges when we do the outside. So we can do this. And this time I will do a crisscross since we're not putting on a sequin on the inside. We can, but I'm just not going to.
Got it.
And again, I'm freehanding this one. You can, there is a holes only die for the 4 dots to use for the flower center. Yep. But I'm just gonna wing it.
You're just gonna go for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because anytime it's fewer than like 5 or 6 dots, I don't often use the holes only.
I've seen you use the holes only on a lot of 4 or 5 things, but that must just be for the good of the YouTube video and audience.
Or if it's like preset on a bigger design. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you're saying that the pre-cut holes are already on a larger design?
Yes.
Not that it's just a holes only die that you have to do an extra step for.
Not typically.
I understand.
I don't like the extra step. Okay, so that's on there now. I thought there was supposed to be another flower. Okay. So we've got our elastic loop. The ends hidden inside the book.
Okay.
Then you're going to layer on the interior cover.
Got it. Then
you're going to layer on your page. And we do this first. We do the center seam first.
You're doing the center seam first.
Yes, because inside stitches, inside lines are always done before outside lines.
Why are inside lines always done before outside lines?
You can't get to the inside lines if you've already done the outside lines.
Which outside lines are we talking about?
Like the outside perimeter.
You can't get to the what?
You can't get to interior holes to hide your ends and stuff. If you do the outside first. So you have to do the inside first.
I'm going to just watch closely over here.
Okay.
Because I've been removing all of the stitches I did on the other half of the laurels because I counted what I thought was the right number and it looks loosey-goosey and different on the outside, so I'm just giving up and going to go back and do it the other way.
Okay. Okay. This is 964. This is what I use for poolside. And I'm going to separate 3 strands here. I'm going to do a matching binding, and then I'm going to do I'm going to use the darker blue, the cerulean on the outside for a contrasting stitch on the front.
Okay.
But then it'll blend in with the inside with the pockets.
Once I get my thread all the way out, I'm going to watch and see what's going on over there. Because meanwhile, the lady, they're still working on the DMC chart over here in the chat, which is great. It's becoming almost like a master's thesis.
I love it.
And I'm not sure we have an answer yet.
So you're going to start, I like to start on that edge hole and go over the edge of the page.
What?
So the page is 1 hole shorter than the cover. On each end.
On each end is 1 hole shorter.
So it's technically 2 holes shorter, I guess. It's
Okay.
2 holes shorter.
Okay.
I like to start on the outer hole and then work my way over the edge of the page so that the edge of the page is totally secured down.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
No, but I'll ask you again in a second.
Great.
Great.
Okay. Now, it really is easiest if you start on the edge in this situation, so I'm going to do that thing. Even though that means there will be a knot, but we're going to be able to hide that pretty easily.
The inside pages are they're 2 holes shorter in total.
Correct.
And what were you trying to say about that?
So you start through the cover because you're sewing all 3 layers together.
Okay.
So you start through the cover.
Okay.
You're coming between the 2 cover layers.
Oh, I understand.
And then you're going all the way through over the edge of the page.
Over the edge of the page?
Yes.
Because it doesn't have a hole.
Correct.
Why doesn't it have a hole?
Because then it would be the same size as the cover, and then your inside cover or your inside page would get like
flopping out.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
And it would also like it would get worn faster. This way with the cover, it doesn't wear as quickly.
Okay.
So
I got it. And I can't wait
because it's also 1 layer thick. It's not like everything else, which is 2 layers thick. You see what I'm saying?
I can't wait to when I'm finishing my Needlebook in a few weeks and I'm going back and rewatching our own video to remember all these details.
Great.
Like I had to do with the prize winner die.
Yeah, you did use that video, didn't you?
Yes, I had to go back and watch our own video of the prize winner die to be able to sew my prize winner die together.
But it was helpful, and that's the whole point.
It was very helpful, and that was the whole point. Yes, of course.
Okay, so when you get to the elastic here, you're just going to want to center it as much as you can.
Yeah. And
because you're going to sew through the elastic too.
You're centering the entire loop as much as you can. Yes? Yes. Okay. You're just eyeballing where the center of the elastic should be on the book. And then you're stitching not just through the felt, but you're also stitching through the elastic.
Through the elastic.
Which you stitched through to begin with a few steps ago.
Yeah, but they were just like little easy X's to keep it tacked together. Mm-hmm. But this now is going to really secure both ends down because they're... you're sewing through all the ends and the...
I understand.
Okay. Sorry.
We had some noise off camera there from the little one.
It sounded like a pot had fallen, like a cooking pot, and it's entirely possible it was one of her play cooking pots, but anyway.
Okay. Do you have any more instructions to give her at this particular moment?
No, why?
Well, because I'm going to get you all caught up on the DMC stuff over here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's in case you're really curious. Let's see what we've missed while I've been pulling stitches and helping you.
I'm just going to say one thing real quick.
Uh-huh.
All you're doing is a running stitch down the spine. Like, you don't have to get crazy with any special fancy stitches. You are literally just doing a running stitch down the spine. When you get to the other end, you're going to, here, I've got to make sure I'm all lined up here. I was not for a second. You're going to go over the edge of the page again and then double back.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Victoria said that DMC stranded cotton variegated threads are mostly in the 24 to 125 number range. DMC variegated colorist threads, which are also stranded, are in the 4000s. Oh, no idea what the difference is between the stranded cotton and the colorist threads. Okay. Colorists are weird colors, is what Barbara then said. Colorist looks to be more distinct colors combined together. A lot of the variegated ones in the standard range look to be ombre or complementary shades together. Mm-hmm. Oh, got it. So the colorists, they're variegated, but the individual strands are wilder variegations? Is that what we're saying? Oh, well, you said, it sounded like you were following along there, and then I asked you a question and you bailed.
Sorry,
Gesundheit.
Excuse me.
Gesundheit.
This is my first day without allergy medicine for a while.
Okay.
Okay. I got to the end here. I'm just going to double back and go exactly through and fill in all the open stitches. See there, I've gone over my page on both ends. And I'm just going to go double back the way we came.
There you go. And now the consensus is that a 48 is a variegated pink. It's a combination of 3 or 4 pink colors together in their standard cotton. And it looks good on flowers and butterflies.
Oh, noted.
There you go. And I'm saying hi to Marianne. Marianne is here watching. I emailed her today to let her know she just bought this die set.
Oh.
We haven't even taken that one to the post office yet. It's packaged.
It is packaged.
It's going to go as soon as we're done on the live. I'm going to the post office today.
Yes.
In case anybody wants to follow me there. And I told her via email today, I'm like, hey, just so you know, I see you put this in your cart. We're going to be stitching live this afternoon. And she apparently was available.
Great.
To join in.
Well, I'm glad.
And a beautiful Bells kit is going there too.
Fantastic. Oh, I thought that was yesterday. That order went out yesterday.
No, ma'am. We received it yesterday, and it's going out today.
Oh.
Well, not to make things more crazy, Sherry says, I found another great floss for felt stitching with a laughing face. Okay, great. Lily says, that prize winner video helped me make some spelling bee prize ribbons with the busy bees.
Fun.
She'll post those. Oh, that's really clever.
That's cute.
So she put the bee on the prize winner, and then she's going to give them
that's really cute.
To people who are using language of origin. Victoria, yes, Sean, Colorist 4506, for example, is blue, green, and yellow mixed together.
Got it.
Got it. And that's in the 4000s. Okay. Wow, that's great. I heard that DMC is going to use the 5000 range for colors that were invented by AI. That's what I heard.
That's a joke, right?
What?
That's a joke. You're messing with me.
I'm not. Why would I? How would
Why would you? Are you kidding?
I'm not. I don't have time to be messing with you. I'm stitching over here.
No, you're not. You're playing with thread.
Well, I mean, I could be stitching over here.
You're not, though.
That is a very cute thing that Lily did for the spelling bee, because I actually know a person who is responsible very closely. My friend Rob is in charge of the spelling bee in his entire school district.
It's true.
In suburban Chicago. He's like the guy who has to run the spelling bee. There you go. I would not have thought about making him a
spelling bee master prize winner.
Yeah, 4506 is not even on Shari's chart, so I don't know where this floss chart has gone. Chat has gone. I'm telling you, there must be a different one in the UK and the USA.
Maybe there is. I don't know.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
All right, I'm almost at the end here.
The end of the interior.
Of the binding, yes.
The interior of the binding over there. That's great. You know, you've done a great job this live, just stitching right along.
I'm just trying to make sure we get through the whole shebang, that's all.
You're doing great. Okay. I mean, I don't know how much longer it's going to take, but go on.
We're going to do, we're finishing off here by coming through between the two layers again.
Okay.
And I'm just going to double knot.
Uh-huh.
And then we're just going to do the perimeter.
And that's that.
And that's that. But I want to show the perimeter because we're going through the pockets.
I'm just getting together all the scrappies on the table and piling them up over here.
I usually do that 10 minutes before we go live next week.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. I'm going to have to get another 310 out of the bin because whoo-hoo.
That's not 310, that's 319.
Oh, yeah, you're right, 319.
What did you do?
Well, I've just used a lot of thread today and not gotten much out of the experience thus far. Except I am better at doing, a couple lazy daisy stitches.
All right,
okay.
So I'm going to hide these ends inside the book. Tucking them in.
Which ends?
The ends from my binding stitching.
That you just did?
Yes.
Okay.
So there's our binding. Oop. All right.
Great.
Now. We are going to do our perimeter. I have the hiccups all of a sudden. Fantastic.
Hang in there. We can do this.
I don't know if I have enough thread pre-cut. Oh, for crying out loud.
Sharon says, I don't have 4506 on her chart either. It's not that long since I updated my chart direct from DMC.
I have a DMC chart. I'll have to go out and look after all.
Well, somebody in this chat can grab me my pitchfork. Let's go. Kill the beast.
That's not gonna be long enough. Okay. All right. Jiminy Christmas.
Yes.
I got lots of stuff over here.
I know you do. Well, the Needlebook, it's a 3-page project.
It is.
You're measuring thread, aren't you, at a time like this?
I am.
Okay, that's great.
I don't want to short shrift myself over here.
That's why you would just long shrift yourself instead.
No, I'm doubling it.
Oh.
Let's see. And then I just add a little for luck. Okay.
Oh, wow. That was some super advanced flight. You almost punched me in the face again.
Sorry.
Linda Quinn wants to know, what kind of elastic are you using? That's a very pertinent question. Get us back on track.
This stuff I've had for several years now. It's called Peak Bloom. I think when I bought it, I just Googled headband elastic.
What did you buy it for first?
I know headbands. I know that it has an actual name. I think it's called like fold over elastic or something like that.
Deb, take your hands off the sewing machine and let's talk about elastic for just a second, okay?
I think it's called fold over elastic. It's like the stuff that people use on the baby headbands,
Fold over elastic.
I think that's what it's called.
Which is like fly over country, but it's fold over elastic. Okay.
Sure.
You just hit me again.
I'm sorry.
And that time the needle was in your hand.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. I'm left-handed. That was my right hand.
Okay.
Oh, did I just move the camera?
No, I just kicked the table. Everything's fine.
Okay. I kicked the power thing.
Yeah, don't worry. We don't need electricity to do these lives, do we? Everything's running on battery power. I got my Fred Flintstone feet.
If it were running on SAS, we'd be good to go.
Deb says not well versed on elastic and she's sorry. Oh, that's okay,
No,
Deb. You don't have to be sorry.
All right, so I'm going to start on the back cover because that's my preference. I'm just going to start. And
this is the final countdown. This is once you finish this exterior running stitch.
Yes.
Okay, well then I'm gonna change the camera.
You can
What? What are you gonna show me first? What?
Oh, dang it.
What, dang it?
Now I'm all tangled.
Uh-oh.
Yes, this is the final exterior perimeter stitch.
Okay.
But I'm also going to go through pockets and stuff, so I wanted to show that part.
What do you mean you're going to go through pockets and stuff?
Because they're on the edges.
Uh-huh.
So I wanted to make sure there we go. I wanted to make sure people got to see the edges, or the pockets.
If people have followed the video along this far, I presume
it's a very long thread.
I presume that they've got the pockets there inside their covers or in their pages, and they're going to know what to do with the outsides. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm starting here on the corner.
Yeah.
And I'm going to come up through all of the layers of the cover and the pocket.
You need to be a little further up, closer to where like the navy blue is, right there.
So I'm here. I started by going through between the pocket and the cover.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just stitching through the pocket layer.
Yeah.
And the cover layers. The cover layer.
Start that again at the beginning. What did you say?
Okay. So I came between the pocket and the cover.
You came between.
For that first, for entry.
Okay.
And then I'm going to continue stitching through all of the layers. Through the pocket and the covers on the edge here.
Okay,
to do the whole edge.
You're still a little far south on the table every time you do that.
Love. Okay.
Just so you know, you're just a little far south on the table when you do that.
This is a very long piece of thread.
That's okay. Everybody can see that.
Because I really hate to start and stop when I'm stitching. But
so once you got it started, now you're just going through many layers. Now you're just
going through, well, you'll be going through 2 layers for most of it. But when you're doing the pockets, just make sure you're getting through the pocket too. You're not
getting through the pocket right now because I see you are.
I'm getting through the pocket right now because the pocket's along the edge.
The pocket is dark blue.
Yes.
The page is white. Thank you.
The page is white.
So you have 2 layers of the light blue color.
Yes.
Poolside.
The covers. Yes.
You have the inner cover and the outer cover are both poolside.
Yes.
And then cerulean, the new blue, is the pocket. Those are the 3 layers you're stitching through.
Yes.
The tundra, which is the page, the white, you're never stitching through that. Because how could it be a page if you're stitching through the outside of it, Sean?
Correct. Okay. So the only stitching you do through that, we've already done with the binding.
So the interior binding is that's only 3 sections because the pockets don't fit into the interior binding, right?
Correct.
So you're never stitching through 4 layers.
Unless you add a second page. But
we already talked about the chunky book. Yeah, we already talked about that. Chunky book, okay.
So you're just going through all 3 layers here while you've got the pocket.
Got it.
And then as soon as you're past the pocket...
Then you're back to just 2 layers.
Yes.
Scot-free.
But here on the edges, sometimes I go between layers. I'm just going to go straight over the side of that pocket because it's on the edge. It's not like the one on the inside, I don't worry about like sealing up that top edge. I do on the outside edge because there's just more contact with the outside world on the outside edge.
Got it. Okay.
So, and then you just do running stitch all the way around.
And all of this we think is covered inside the inspiration guide?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it is, but it's a 3-pager. It takes a lot of reading to get through everything. But there are some things that are just easier to understand when you see them in action. So that's why we wanted to do this.
Got it. Well, now Marianne's got the real question, which is if you weren't using the elastic, how would you add ribbon to close it? That was going to be my part of the project was to get to the end of my stinking book.
And that did not happen.
And that didn't happen.
So you can add the ribbon on the edge over here. With the... Let me get the die here again. So you would just...
Yeah, you cut that earlier.
Line up your points, these points, and the slot will cut on the edge of the cover with this one. And
then how did you actually anchor the ribbon in?
You just sew.
I think that's the question. The question is then what do you do?
It anchors when you... I went all the way through. And then when you're sewing the binding, you always stitch in your...
Oh, thank you. I think that's what she's asking. So when you did the binding, you slid that entire piece of ribbon.
All the way through, yes.
All the way through. It's just one uncut piece of ribbon.
Correct. And then I just sewed it there.
When you stitched up the binding, boom, that secured it.
Yes.
And then you just have to make sure you thread it through the outside.
Same thing with this one. It's sewn right through here.
Okay.
And then it's coming through the edges. So if you wanted to use a little less ribbon, you could just cut like a, I don't know, 10-inch, 9-inch, 10-inch piece and sew it through the edge. But I like to just do one big long piece because then it's getting sewn through the binding.
Yeah. Shari summarized that in the chat by saying, the ribbon runs between the 2 layers of felt.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So now if you wanted to do the thing where you're on me and not...
That's what I'll be doing in about 3 or 4 weeks when I'm back to finishing... my Needlebook. Mine's going to be more of a mini-series is the work that I'm doing. Instead of an episode, it's more of a mini-series.
This one, I knew that this video would get a little long, so we did shift the babysitting today to make sure that there would be...
We added an extra babysitter just for all the folks who are here today, which is great. Barbara says she's got lots of ribbon that she needs to use. Well, there you go.
It'll take up to 5/8 inch, I believe, in the slot.
You're saying the slot that you cut? Okay.
I mean, it could take something a little bit wider, but 5/8 inch is what I would use personally. I think this measuring tape one, I think, is 1/2 inch. I'm pretty sure this might be 1/2 inch, but it might be 5/8. But then this is 5/8 as well.
Got it. Okay.
And that's noted in the instructions.
All right. You're keeping that in the camera right now too, which is nice.
I'm trying
just
real
stay
hard.
right. You just stay right there.
But yeah, then it's just a nice and easy running stitch all the way around.
Shari says the inspiration sheets are helpful because she managed to figure out hers without having to ask you any questions.
Well, that's good.
There you go. There are not many of our inspiration. Is this the only inspiration guide that's 3 pages?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, the kit ones.
The kit ones, and I think the egg.
The embroidered egg?
No, the original egg, I think, is 3.
Is 3 pages as well?
Yes.
Yeah, the only one that I'm using all the time. Thank you for doing that. It's helpful to see it being sewn, Linda said. There you go.
I'm glad to do it. I mean, I do my best to explain things in text, but I know that I myself am a more visual learner, so I can understand why people would want a more visual.
Well, and the trouble with doing this particular stitch, one of the troubles with this Stitch Live was trying to figure out where to drop it into the calendar. Right? Because when we were putting the calendar together, it's like springtime things in spring, summery things in summer.
Well, not just that, but also during the school year, we had a very hard cut time.
Oh, yeah.
And I knew this one would be a little bit longer, and so we needed to wait until it was summer, so we had a little more time to work around the schedule.
Yes, and so that's how we, in our imminent wisdom, back in January, decided today would be the day, to get the Needlebook out and get going.
Yeah, well, you know, I do my best.
And this is great. I mean, one of the things that I've always liked about your products is how, what's the word I'm looking for, is, I think I put in the description earlier, I mean, this isn't decor, right? This is a functional, like totally functional piece of felt. And of course, you're making it maybe for yourself to have.
They're great for gifts. Too.
But a great thing for gifts too.
And so many different dyes fit on them.
Yes, so many different dyes. So many of the little motifs that you've designed in other dyes fit onto them.
Yes. When you do the center stitch, just make sure, I can hear cracking up. Make sure you don't sew through your book. Just be a little thoughtful about making sure you're not the book, through the page. Don't sew through the page. Just watch where you're going. There are
probably little Christmas motifs and some of the Christmassy things that would fit if you would have a super seasonal one.
The cocoa has that tree in it. The cocoa kit has that tree in it that would be really cute. It also has a wreath in it. If you don't have the coin purse and you wanted something wreathy, there's a wreath in that one.
I can imagine someone doing a coin purse and stitching a little Needlebook combo.
I mean, because the coin purse. Here, where's the one that
I've got the coin purse around here somewhere. There you go.
It'd be a slightly snug fit.
Okay, so maybe that idea came from me. You can just discard that one.
No, I'm saying but if you wanted like a to-go bag of like just a few notions or whatever, the coin purse is good.
I'm not sure how seriously to take Shari. Do you have the Scissor Keeper die on your schedule? Not for me, but I'm sure people would find that one helpful too, she says. I don't
remember.
Is the Scissor Keeper on the calendar?
I don't know.
I don't know, Shari. Let me go to a different window here. Let me see.
If not, we can always bump something.
No, we can't bump anything. We worked hard on this schedule.
I know we did work hard on this schedule.
No, Shari. You have to wait for 2026 for that Scissor Keeper.
We'll bump something else.
Alternatively, you could send a check or money order made out to...
I actually have quite a few things to videotape here coming up, so... And by videotape, I mean digitally record, because I'm,
I just imagine Shari's at home.
I am the youth.
I imagine Shari just put her fist through the wall at home because she's like, I stitched Sean his own Needlebook, and now when I ask one thing from him, which is, will you please do this other video, he's like, go fly a kite.
No,
send money.
We'll find a way. Stop.
No, if I was Shari right now, I'd put my elbow through a window. That's what I would do.
She'll just stick Scout on you.
Mary Ann wants to know if there's a schedule of upcoming videos. There is for Sean and Lizzie, but there unfortunately is not for anybody else. I've never thought about that, though. That's a great question. No one's ever asked us.
Making known ahead what we're going to make.
Yeah.
More than like the day of.
Yeah, more than like the day of. Like, I mean, we have the list. We could tell people.
We have made adjustments to it here and there because we needed to do something for a particular reason or because we...
Yeah, but I've never thought about public. I've literally never thought that we might publish the schedule in advance until Mary Ann asked that question.
Maybe a month in advance. Like month by month.
A couple of weeks.
We could do that. Sure.
Yeah. Shari says, well, I actually made one for that release, so I was asking for them. But she's very much...
She was part of that release.
She wants me to let everybody know that she knows how to make the scissor keeper die, but that other people might want to see it.
Because she and I both used Scenic Route on our stitching.
That's right. Well, we will not be doing the scissor keeper video until I finish my Needlebook first. How about that?
That one would be fun, though, because there's a couple different ways to do the strap. Or to do the closure. There's
a closure, though, on that one?
Yes,
I always thought yours is always just hanging out open.
No, there is a magnetic...
Victoria and Mary both immediately were like, this would be a good idea. You can purchase the die before the class.
Well, that may work better for some of you than others because some of you are across the pond, and I don't know how quickly the USPS can keep up, but yes, we could do that.
Got it. Sure. Okay, that's great.
We could do that. We could start letting
Deb just won Bob and Chicken again.
Woo! Gotta love that.
Deb mentioned earlier that I'm filling her head with songs today with all the snippets that I've dropped, so now I gotta come up with a good one for Bob and Chicken. It's like... Yeah, I mean, when you're playing Bob and Chicken... No, I was thinking more like, we are the champions. Question, when is the kit being released? I just purchased Beautiful Bells before it's retired. Oh, so she wants to know.
So, Christmas in July.
Christmas in July is when the next kit will be coming out. We haven't teased anything about that, and I'm not planning on teasing anything about that. You're not getting it out of me.
I have only just barely started to work on that stuff because there are 100 other things for me to work on right now. But
is that in production?
Yeah.
Oh, that is in production. So right. So we finished it, and it's being made. Yeah. So that we can have it. Okay.
What do you mean? Is that in production, bro?
That's what I thought it was. I was all of a sudden I realized like if it isn't.
Yeah, no, it's
okay.
It's been in production for like a month. It has been in production for a while.
Shari says I cannot do mine in Scenic Route because hers is as well. No, I'm sticking in. I'm very much in the cobblestone,
truffle, and pine forest.
Yeah, I'm in all these colors. Yeah, very like browns and
very earthy neutral colors.
Earthy neutral color palettes is what I've been doing. That's what my business card holder is.
Mm-hmm. Your business card holder is also in cobblestone, as I recall.
Yeah, also in cobblestone. That's right.
Yes.
Very neutral, very brown.
All right. Here on the other side, I am going through I went through the pocket again on this side. I'm all through all 3 layers.
That's got it.
On the edge.
Are you ready for me to put the camera back?
Yeah, you can do that.
On your full thing? Because what we're doing, Lizzie, you can see there what Lizzie's stitching there on the screen.
Slowly.
She has gone around this bad boy, and all we're going to do now is just get to the end and turn around and go back.
Yes.
And then the only trick at the very end of the thing is going to be how you're burying your thread at the very end.
Where you hide your ends.
But people can watch any number of our other videos to figure out how we do that properly. Yeah.
But I want to show this once it's finished, so people can really see how it comes together and see how the closure works and everything. So, so yes, if you want to switch the camera angle, that would be
Oh boy, okay, I'm gonna reach over and switch then.
Then I will sew up at my face like I usually do.
Okay, then there.
Sit back in my chair instead of on the edge of my chair.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything even situated there on the camera that would be worth showing. I guess I could...
Oh, I could put that.
Yeah, put the bee down there or something. We could pop that in there just so that people have something else to look at.
This down there.
Look at all these guys. Now you've gone too far.
I'm sorry.
There you go. There's like our little trifecta of bloop, bloop, bloop. Look at that. What a professional. We have Tilly, our daughter's playing right outside the window of the studio with her babysitter right now, so there's a little bit of stuff bleeding through.
I believe I hear what sounds like a recorder. I'm not sure where that came from. But
Victoria says, do we get some Sean makes on the blog post for the new kit? No, Victoria.
I did think about requesting you, because you used to talk about making projects, and then you stopped talking about that real fast.
So I
after
used
you
to
started making projects.
Yeah, I used to talk about making projects because that's a big time commitment, right?
Yes.
For the brand as a whole. Because we're not AIing any of these images, right? We're not like doing anything Photoshoppy.
I know that there are people out there who see stuff on Pinterest, and I get routinely requests for things people see on Pinterest that I know are AI, and I'm just like, oh, I want to make you happy, but I know that I can't do that thing because that thing is AI.
Yeah, people have sent you images of stuff that's like, clearly they drew it in Illustrator and then they told an AI to make it look like a stitching project.
And it's probably because they've designed a pattern, and that's fine.
Yeah, anyways, but the question was whether or not I was making something for the blog.
Yeah.
And now that I've been stitching, I realize how difficult it is to make them look photo worthy. That's the trouble. Like, I could finish a stitching project, but then when you go to like put it under the camera and take a photo of it, oh, Victoria's saying, come on, Sean, guess creator. No, Victoria, I'm going to look right in the camera for this part of the conversation. Okay? There's no part of me that's being creative when I'm doing this. I am just asking Lizzie, okay, we're doing something. It's going to be this project. I'm thinking these kinds of colors. And then she's the one who's actually making all the decisions. I'm just stitching it
guys.
once the components have landed, right?
Yeah, or you say to me, I would like these things. Can you cut it for me? And so
right. We are very many steps away from me just like deciding to get creative.
I am glad that you finally realized that this is a thing, because you used to say it to me all the time. Like, why don't you just give me the stuff to stitch once you...
Oh, yeah, got it.
And that stopped very
part of it was
quickly.
I saw I don't know who it was, but I saw images of some not of our crafters stitching projects, but of other companies maybe with stitching projects. And I was just, I don't know. I got to get my stitching's got to get better. It's got to get better. Oh, all these people are just clamoring for whatever I can cobble together over here.
You'll get there.
They would be in the most tripped out colors. I would be going out of my way to do stuff that's like very outside of the color palettes thus far.
In other words, keeping him to one color story may be tricky.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's what you're... Oh, yeah, because if I was part of a release or something...
Right.
There would be a color story.
There'd be a color story.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. That'd be a good way to keep me to stay in my lane.
It would.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
Stay in your lane, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, dear. Okay. All right. I've finally gotten to the to the beginning, so I'm going to double back and finish.
Oh, that's it. Okay. A little gossip with cobblestone. Make it happen, Sean.
That would be one wild combo.
That would be one way to do it. I don't think I ever shared with Shari that photo yesterday. We had someone place an order, and I looked down at the colors, and it was a very particularly unique rainbow. I don't think I ever sent that over to her. I did snap that photo. Dude, here it comes. There you go, in real time. Someone got a bunch of the new tangerine and the new gossip, and there were some other colors on the table, and it was a very distinctive rainbow.
Yes.
And what I'd like to say is that it was a rainbow I had not seen before, but of course, since we just have those two new colors, of course not. Break out the shades.
What did I do? Oh, it's just not. It's fine.
You're going to stitch this thing all the way to the bitter end? Is that what you're planning on doing over here?
But I was going to show how the elastic fit once it's all finished.
Do you think that the viewers that are here don't understand how the elastic will look when it's all done? I mean, if you want to, that's fine. I will hang out until you're finished stitching this thing to the bitter end.
No.
You have 22 minutes to finish.
I can do it in 22 minutes.
Okay, well then that's great. Shari's gotten the photo and says that's a very primary rainbow. Do you mean that's a rainbow that would be done by the company Primary? Or do you mean that the colors are very primary, like they're wholesome? pure.
You're silly. I'm getting around my pocket here. What are you doing?
You're getting around the pocket there?
Yeah.
Well, so I'm looking at the photo that Shari sent me earlier that was a lot of thread. That's what I'm doing. She sent me that. Look, it's all these thread bobbins with all of these like perfectly looped up, evenly distributed, wrapped flosses that are from the 0s to the 135s there. Of these like variegated colors. That's what I've got. That's what I'm looking at.
I do tend to only buy them when I need a particular color.
She said, Shari says that she cut some rainbows with her boho colors that she picked.
Nice.
All right, there you go.
I have been thinking a lot about this, but I do not have time to make projects with all of the rainbow colors that I considered. So maybe I will just do a graphic of some sort.
Yeah, you could do a graphic and then you could challenge people to stitch the projects in their colors and have them send us the photos.
That's true.
Yeah, that's when we're going to crowdsource this bad boy. Linda has a vote. She would like to see the project get finished. So Linda's telling me don't touch that dial.
I'm working on it.
We're doing great. On it.
It does tend to go faster when I'm not stretched out over the tabletop.
That is definitely the case.
Because when I'm stitching at night, I'm usually huddled on the couch like a little craft gremlin. And
yeah, it does have a very sort of like T-Rex arm energy about it. Does anybody else craft when they're stitching with T-Rex arms? As opposed to like something that looked like it was on a Hollywood movie, right? Where someone was working on a stitch. There's and there's like a lot of this. Instead, it's a real kind of like...
up by my face.
This is where the project is. This is where the stitching is happening, right?
If I'm lucky, there's a cat nearby.
That's where the shelf that we've talked about on previous shows, comes in handy, right? Because it's not far away.
That's right.
Yeah. Shari says, I also cut one with the fabric I used on the beehive. I need to stitch them this weekend. Okay. Victoria says, we definitely need a cobblestone/pine forest type of toned color story. Okay.
Rustic Cabin has toasted oat and weathered moss.
No. Nope. She was very specific. She said cobblestone. We're going to call it that color story.
I'm trying to help offer solutions.
It'll be called the Bros from Dover.
But the Dover Cliffs, I think gray. I think like overcast.
I was just trying to make a joke about this is the most bro-y color story that we've gotten.
The Bros from Dover.
The Bros from Dover, yeah.
Why was it itchy? Turns out, stopping allergy medicine may have been a mistake.
That's okay.
I ran out.
Okay, so when you did this flower on this pocket here, you did the flower on that pocket piece first, and then stitched the entire pocket down. And this would be an instance in this.
That's what I did on this one too.
That's what you did on this one too. And when you did that, and so you said you freehanded that as well?
Probably.
So you had to make sure that you freehanded it without the petals of the flower reaching outside of the flaps.
I hold the flower there to make sure.
Yeah, that's great. No, I'm just looking at it here closely to understand what's going on.
Yeah.
And I can see where, as you described it, you stitch through the outside of the pocket around the perimeter, but on the inside you do not.
I don't bother, no.
Yeah, you don't bother doing that. Okay, great.
Well, because it's sort of protected on the inside there.
Well, and then it's got different colors of felt for the inner cover and the outer cover.
Yeah, you could certainly do that. I just
we hadn't talked about that earlier, right? But you've got petal dot on the outside of those, and then you cut a different shade of pink for the inside layer. Taffy there on the inside. Okay, look at that. Wow.
Yeah, I guess the other one. I did it with this one too. The inside is pearl, and the outside is smoked paprika.
Got it. Shari's got to take off because she's got lots of voiceovers to do.
Oh, that's fair. Sorry, I'm a little pokey this week. Sorry.
That's okay. Someone says I have a bolster pillow that's always beside me on the chaise portion of my couch that is constantly loaded with needles. Yeah. No one sits in my spot, so it's very effective. And then Barbara is saying how she needs some dotted felt. Don't worry, Barbara.
I'm trying.
We're working on it. And Barbara, earlier in the chat, I didn't notice, Barbara mentioned she just realized that her avatar photo is about 10 years old, and it seems like she has flipped it to a new photo.
Oh, wow.
In the middle of this.
There you go.
There is no moss growing under Barbara's feet.
Not today.
No, she is GTD over there. She is getting it done.
Yeah, I think I've got my avatar is a wee bit out of date as well, but I don't mind.
I don't think it's a problem. I don't think that it's not the date of the avatar. It's just whether or not you like the photo to begin with. You know what I mean?
It was fine. I think I did it for a company I was working for.
Mm-hmm.
As a headshot, and I just left it.
Victoria's apologizing about the polka dot. I showed Barbara the color story that came with one of my kits, and now she has dotted felt and
Oh, I'm sorry. We're working on it.
We are working on it. Don't you worry. We are working on it, and it's going to happen.
We'll get there eventually.
Mm-hmm.
We have not given up on the dotted felt.
Yeah, we have the dotted felt for the kits that we just re-released, yes. and then now we have some more dotted felt that is in. We're getting started with another round of production.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll get that.
We get some samples back and take a look. Where are you? Are you close to the beginning?
I am about 2/3 of the way.
2/3 of the way there back. That's great.
Obviously, it also goes faster once your thread is not quite so long.
And there's a lot of beadwork with the polka dot here too that makes it look a little bit extra special.
Yeah, nice. I did more beadwork on those than I did on this one. Again, it's not because of a concern that they would get caught on things, because I have not had an issue. It's mostly just for timing today.
Got it.
And I feel like enough people have. I've beaded enough on other videos that if you wanted to add beads, or if you wanted to catch a video about beading, there's probably one out there for you. But yeah, I mean, you know, especially if you are the type who takes a bit more care and doesn't just throw their stuff into a tote bag and run out the door, you may not have. You probably wouldn't have any problems. I wouldn't imagine you'd have any problems.
Okay.
Because I don't take care, and I've not had any problems with mine. I like having multiple Needlebooks.
Victoria's asking about the next round of production being connected to the back catalog of the next back catalog of re-releases. You just calm down, Victoria.
The reason we were concerned about the
polka dot felt was a part of the cozy cocoa. Yeah, so that was like, it was a mandatory thing. We had to get the polka dot for the cozy cocoa. We had to be able to get it
to be able to do a pre-order for those kits.
And we did get it, and we were able to get them out the door. But we're just looking for a more reliable source of the polka dot felt.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for. So we've got our best people on it now.
Yes. We are going to get...
But there was no polka dot felt in the other round of the re-release kits that we've hinted at.
None of the others have had polka dots in them.
Yeah.
Hopefully at some point we can also get the Midas Touch back.
Yes, the Midas Touch is a little bit elusive. Like the Fountain of Youth.
Because unlike the white dots on the colors, the Midas Touch actually requires an adhesive and then foiling.
It's a foiling process, yeah.
And so it's not everybody is willing to do that. And that's been a little bit tricky to find someone. But we're working on it. Okay, I've got about 1.5 inches left here.
That's great, because we've got about 13 minutes left on the babysitter.
I told you I would do it.
I'm down to the wire.
Well, that's why I asked her to shift today.
Can't talk you out of it. Okay, well, I'm turning off that picture-in-picture there as you're finishing that up.
All right.
Here it comes. I'm on the edge of my seat.
I know, I'm sorry. I realized there was like dead air there, and it was...
Well, by the edge of my seat, I mean I'm leaning back in my chair.
I know, I see you there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, last stitch here. So I'm just going back between the layers. I'm going to knot it.
I was going to put it back on the table there, but don't worry about it. You're nowhere close anyways.
Close,
yeah, not worth it at all.
I just do a double knot. A double knot seems sufficient.
Uh-huh.
I need to clip my fingernails because they're starting to get too long to do my work. Okay, then I'm just going to pull my my thread back through.
So you can bury the end?
My ends. Yep.
Well, thanks for being here, everybody, as we're wrapping this up. We'll get our thank yous out of the way now. Victoria's saying thank you. It was another good video. That's nice.
I'm glad. I'll do that last one off camera. But so there's the, there's the final
We can
book.
go to the table if you want.
No, it's fine. And then I just pull my strap around.
Let's do it. Let's go to the table. I'll make it I'll even go big screen with it. You just put it right there in the center. Bloop. Let's get that bee. Get everything out of the way except the project you just worked on. Dirt. There you go.
So there's the Needlebook.
There's the whole Needlebook.
I need to clip off some of those strands too, but I'll get those.
You too can make that in only about 2 hours or so. And if you weren't stitching over the table, you would have been a lot faster with it. But a quick little 2-hour project, and you've got yourself a handy little gift or something to take around for all your stitching projects. Yep. There you go.
I like it. Big fan.
All right. Well, we will see you back next week with or without an announced schedule. You know, We'll figure that whole thing out.
Figure it out.
And we're glad you could join us today.
Yes.
Have a great night and week, everybody.
Yes.
And then we'll see you again soon.
We'll see you soon.
Okay, adios.
Actually, we'll see you on Friday because that's when projects will go up showcasing Cabana.
For Cabana, the new color story. Yeah.
So on